rivals. And as we get started too with our final series of the day, once again, for those of you guys tuning in at home, thank you so
Yo,
much.
Zombie Kid, I appreciate it as well.
And these are
Get her
two
done.
teams that we've been
It's
looking
my
forward to
birthday.
seeing as we get
Congratulations,
started.
brother. Happy birthday.
You know, this is
What
the
I
most
like to do for my
anticipated
birthday is
matchup,
kiss
at
my
least
sister.
For me personally, and I'm sure for you as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're wondering,
Yo,
just to
Scrappy
reiterate,
J, appreciate the rest of
we
you tier
bring it up
1
every
sub, my friend.
broadcast, obviously,
Chat,
the
focus
Smash
up,
is a
man.
Roller player. He's
Stop
on the
being
sticks,
weird.
on
We're
the
watching a
controller.
fucking great game.
Not sure which one exactly he is. You'd have to go to his Twitch channel and, you know, do exclamation point settings or whatever he does. But oh my god, off the rip, going in aggressively with this composition with the Star-Lord alongside the drone on top of him, and the speed boost from the Jeff just goes in with the blaster barrage. Avery's already gone.
Yeah, when you let it rip like a Beyblade sometimes, it doesn't matter what output you're playing on out here, because Smash is a very reliable duelist
Oh,
for DARKZERO.
shit.
He's also very
Oh,
much stepped
shit. Yo, DARKZERO taking the first fight.
Yeah.
Remember.
That's why you swapped off.
Remember, chat,
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to
Rymazing
come
and
back and maybe
Kurova
try to
were
catch
on
up to,
Sentinels.
and it makes
So
sense
these
to
are
me, I guess, because if you do
ex-teammates
overtime,
playing
you flip it
against
back
each
and
other.
forth, it's what, like 175, 180
Yeah.
down. So you'll get it up eventually, right? But
This
now
is
Sentinels,
crazy.
they switch comps. Looks like in general they're gonna go over to the group.
Crimzo Group, we've seen this time and time again too, as Aramori slowly trying to approach alongside that of Nectar. But looking at DARKZERO and the ult economy that they're about to have, Rymazing with that extermination is something to highlight. And there's already 2 members of DARKZERO trying to taking a flanking position. It is Kurova. By the way, Kurova flank Jeff was also something else to look out for in yesterday's series.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So who's gonna win,
Great
chat?
point,
Is it
Vicky.
gonna
Now
be
they're
the
going aggressive with
Sentinels,
Ultron's rage.
who is the OG team,
Keeping
or is it gonna
everybody
be the
alive,
people who left the
away
team
from
to win?
Aramori to barely live. Impunity eventually chases her down though, and she was close to that invisible boundary. So it's a 1-for-1. Meanwhile, in the sky, Smash committing the ultimate, but if the Jeff heals and the Luna, or it was enough to keep Madara alive on DARKZERO's side until eventually falls, and Renko's ult runs out. Eventually, here comes the Strangling Prison, catches out Smash, just one for that Strangling Prison, but it's scrappy. It's back and forth at the current moment. DARKZERO still in control
Oh,
of
he's
the
gonna
point.
pop. He's gonna pop.
And
Let's see
Avery
it.
playing incredibly aggressive there too. He used the extermination just for an aggressive push, as well as Renko had to use up that sustainability with the Fit of Both Worlds. And Nectar is
Kill
cleaning up
that
whatever
fish.
is
Kill that
left
fish.
right
Kill
now
Jeff.
of DARKZERO.
I hate
Can't catch
Jeff.
Kurova just
Kill him.
yet. And that
Murder.
slippery shark.
Cut him up into little
Techie
pieces
finding
of
Mara. The number
sashimi and
advantage
eat
goes
him.
in favor for Sentinels.
He live.
And he's trying to kind of just, or they're trying to kind of create some space on the backside, at least flip the point.
Wow, they're
Madara
still
came in
stalling
with
the point.
portal
That's
stall
crazy.
now, so that means DARKZERO's
87%.
used. But regardless, yeah, building up to 87% on the board in Sentinels. They get it done, at least for now, to keep that point. But DARKZERO, they built up some percentage to go on their attack, and, you know, do have a composition to sort of play, you know, scrappy. That's kind of why they're on that Rocket Raccoon, Jeff, and Ultron. There's really not a single target you can maybe KO except
Get her
Madara,
done.
and that's why Madara went down in that previous fight.
Mara having to be careful here, trying to build up into that Sonic Seduction. but
Get her
creating
done.
space
Come
with
on,
velocity,
brother.
having that
Let's
Sia.
see this.
This is going to put them in the driver's seat. DARKZERO just shooting blind now with Aramori having that invisible boundary, and Techie is the one that has that Psionic Seduction online, shooting through it, though, with DARKZERO now trying to navigate away, getting out of that line
Ooh,
of sight.
big,
And look
big,
behind him,
big,
because it's
big,
Crimzo
big by
with the blue
Crimzo.
bug. Renko with the follow.
Teaching
Despite that, though,
his
Smash is still able to find Aramori.
ex-teammates how to
As
win.
one hero you can't say that Crimzo lacks on is the tree. Root himself is basically the epitome of Crimzo, or he's the you know, soul of that hero. Avery in the sky though with the Ultron's rage, trying to close out on DARKZERO, push them off for now, in which he does.
Just taking a little book out of the Krakoa page right here, just trying to be the best route as Sentinels now. With their feet
Oh,
planted on this point, and
let's
here
see it, chat. Let's see it,
65%.
chat.
Kurova does have that Jeff ultimate. Oh,
Two.
Smash
Two.
gets annihilated by
Two.
Techie, but the Kurova ultimate can get
Two.
away with it as he takes out Crimzo.
It's a
and
5v4.
Aramori.
It's a 5v4.
Oh, no. The double wombo combo between
Come on,
spouses
DARKZERO. You
as
can't finish this
Kurova
ever
is
after
the
Kurova got 2,
perpetrator.
bro.
That's a screenshot for the old days, for sure. In the sky though, Nectar finds one, has the drone so he can sustain for a little bit. Also the missed grab from Madara, Rai able to stay alive around the corner, duck back around. Nectar able to find velocity too, so
Hey,
they're
well,
working
I
themselves
don't
back
know
into
how
the
I feel about that
Sentinels
ult.
are, even though they lost that duo of Crimzo and Aramori, the portal also back up in time too. So they did use it originally from Avery, but they still have that cooldown back up because it's gone long enough, and they're sustaining on this objective. No portal for the side of
Ooh, this is really good. This is really good. Chat, it's last fight now. Last fight. Oh, bro, I'm so hyper. I can't sit. I can't sit.
We're seeing really impressive, pickoffs, and Techie as well with the follow-ups, as now Sentinels nearing 88%. DARKZERO, they have some ultimates here in the back to try to recontest.
Those ults are going to really matter, and let's see how Crimzo can connect with this Eye of Agamotto. Dara gets poked low, who is now on Magneto, by the way, to try to keep Kurova alive when he comes in with the HDF. Here comes Impunity. Starts it off with a Freedom Charge. Also, they layer on top of it Velocity's Rocket. Also, the See You Later committed as well. They want to go deep onto Sentinels, but they live. They thought maybe they could take advantage of the fact that they didn't have Stratus ults just yet, but it's Avery's ult here, and now they have the advantage to come back through on the backside. Everybody pocketing Avery, though, as he goes aggressive. They find Madara, though, on the main, and with him gone, that's a huge pick until the BRB brings it back. That's why they're
wow, this is wild, bro. I'm actually so like, who's gonna win this?
Both of the Ultrons getting huge value in the sky. Crimzo comes back down, bubble in to keep the Jeff alive.
Did Kurova get anyone?
To keep Kurova off of the map with
Why would you jump off the map? You're trading your life with one other person. I think, oh wait, you have to, because she's playing Invis Woman. She'll jump back on the map. Never mind. Traded 1 for 1. Holy shit, wait, is that a controller player on Star-Lord? Holy shit, wait, what? He's playing controller Star-Lord?
Real quick, but that was a really elongated fight. They utilized a lot, and that was what Sentinels having. The survivability that they had. Invisible Boundary, the Luna Sulfate of
oh my god.
with the extermination, and regardless
oh
of that,
my
Velocity
god.
with the Rocket Ultimate as well as that BRB.
That was a good first map, chat. 99-99, bro. That was good.
This team is looking so much better. Like DARKZERO in general, no matter the result, right? Sentinels too. Like Sentinels, I think had a hotter start, right, Vicky? It felt like, I don't know about you, but it did feel like Sentinels like started out hot in the tournament. But DARKZERO has been like slowly bringing themselves back up, right? They look like a really good team.
I 100% agree. Again, that's really what highlights the character development of these teams from the beginning. DARKZERO lost their first series in the group stage versus Nemesis. They have to terrorize that lower bracket just to get here. They literally had to play way more games just to be exactly where Sentinels is. Sentinels had to play 3. Here you had DARKZERO. They had to play against Team Nemesis, YFP, Extinction, Team Nemesis again to win the run back. And that's why they are here. They've made those readjustments, but now with Sentinels, they brought it incredibly close. DARKZERO, we're disrupting their backline.
And we'll see if they keep it up. You mentioned it earlier, but Kurova on Jeff has been a menace.
I don't think you get aim assist on PC when you plug in a controller.
Obviously, they don't get to play Jeff because it was banned in the earlier ban phase, and Sentinel's going to keep out with their composition with that Luna Snow and the rest of the comp, but no ults just yet, Vicky, and this is going to be a slower start, it looks like, but the Ultrons you mentioned earlier have been a huge impact.
Keep it going here. Avery's about to have the extermination as Nectar activates the legendary first here. Oh no. They're actually able to get out of the line of sight just temporarily.
There's no way, bro. Wow. I would be pissed off if I was him. Ulting like that and not getting any kills?
Maybe force back that Rocket and the Ultron because they're trying to play for their own lives. They're able to find out Madara, who comes to the portal. Velocity's res brings Amazing back. There's no res on the opposite side. Kurova sure goes down, but the portal's about to come from Madara. Actually, no, he gives up on it. They're stalling it out. Portal not coming from them, and Sentinels actually take the point because of, we said earlier, it was some nice movement from Rai. I mean, he tried to duck around, and he did save his own life, but unfortunately, he lost his main tank.
Yeah, exactly. They were so fixated on trying to stay alive there on the side point. You disrupt the back line, even if you don't find a pick. But that's your job here. If you're a Nectar, you're either trying to force out a strategist ultimate very early in these earlier rounds of domination, or you're able to find a pick from the other side of the Vanguards who do not have that support. And he has that extermination too, as Aramori was picked off a little earlier. She'll also have that invisible boundary shortly.
I already know in the comms, I bet too, like Crimson's like, guys, we need to piss off Rai. Like, we need to just make sure that he's upset. And now, looks like they are upset, DARKZERO are, as they go in with that Ultron's rage, and Rai takes it out on the Sentinels and removes Techie and also Avery. Them being removed is huge. Kurova comes in with an itch Jeff too.
He's having so much fun with this Jeff. The fact that he constantly gets this impact, by the way, it's incredible. He looks like he's been having a ball from the backline because he's also trying to harass the backline himself as he could get away being on Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess what do you do against it when, you know, you've given them Magneto, who can bubble him with that itch Jeff. You've also given them Ultron.
Yeah, Kurova. I didn't know Kurova had Jeff in his pocket.
Such an annoying character, as cute as Jeff is. He is definitely annoying, in my opinion. But now they walk in and, oh no, Renko forced to use ult early. They want to go aggressive now.
Cute but deadly here, but at least using up this ult allows him to try to get back onto the point. Maybe a little too early, though, as the Meteor M comes slamming. Oh, my Mara got put in the microwave, burned alive here.
Wait.
No
I feel like...
no support, sadly. Smashes the next to go out, and it doesn't look like the Shatters being able to keep not only Rising alive.
I feel like Sentinels use a lot of ults there.
Goes out next, and now Sentinels are just walking up for free.
I mean, yeah, that was a block from Crimzo.
Oh, and DARKZERO still having the point is actually really crazy.
And got rid of Madara with his own Meteor M, which is insane.
Oh my.
Kurova, meanwhile, goes down. So off of a phenomenal play from Mr. Captain Canada in this case, because Crimzo is Canadian, smashing the sky. Trying to bring it back, but I mean, DARKZERO's trying to stall it out. This is what they did in the last point, it seems like, Vicky. Just make sure, even though it's scrappy and doesn't look pretty,
listen,
as long as you get that
DARKZERO has been losing this whole fight.
But
notice how they never flipped the point, so they still have point. They're still getting all the tick percentage. Now they lost. Now they can reset.
After the last 2 fights here, now Sentinels get to finally reclaim this point, and they didn't have to utilize everything. Crimzo still has that freedom charge. Avery with the extermination.
That's a great point. They have those available for the upcoming fight. Sentinels luckily able to kind of close out, though, right? Made sure that at least the people trying to anchor the point and sort of flip it back and forth were eventually dealt with. And this is a back and forth brawl between two incredibly close teams, it seems like, at least on the first map on Krakoa, and it's, you know, showing up to be exactly everything we were hoping this game was going to be. And aggressive plays now coming through. Sentinels are aware of it. Go on to Rising into the sky with the Ultron's Rage, who gets the bubble. It's a great peel onto him. Here comes that Jeff from Kurova, who doesn't have the bubble on his backside because it was just used. Oh my God, gets deleted by Avery.
Oh, Kurova still managed to get that 1 kill and res. Still got the Luna.
We're able to find 2 of the strategists. Is a W here if you're Aramori being able to get away. And then the respawn 2 onto Kurova, thanks to Velocity having that BRB. They walk back up and they're able to flip the point while Teki was on the very edge of that point trying to stall.
Yeah, but at least to keep everybody alive, they commit also invisible boundary here from Aramori. Meteor M just yeets back into the back line. Here comes in the sky with the Galactic Legend. Nectar met with that Rocket Raccoon. See you later. They deleted eventually. And Ryan the sky. Can he get away? He's done it before, but is the pressure put out onto the back line enough to keep Impunity out of the fight? No, it's not, because Impunity trades back along, but Nectar has been massive. Portal back and forth, chasing down the Rocket Raccoon. Does he get the health pack? Though back up on the other side. The cooldown off. Nectar, can he find the elimination with the Blaster Barrage? Does not.
Something that's hard for him
eventually goes down. Smash from the backside.
Like, you could do a flanker, you could do, but you have to watch out for Zonk.
Techi's able to take down
Or a flyer. Flyers are fine.
Velocity fighting for his
something that doesn't promote grouping up.
Ticking away as Aramori portals everybody back to contest now at DARKZERO. They're down in numbers. Lost out on Impunity. They've lost out on Smash. Crimzo leading the way here, but it is Nectar in the driver's seat to set up Sentinels for success.
Wait, chat.
Down from Sentinels, and this is what we talked about.
99 goes the Sentinels, bro.
You know, this week looking very coordinated on their dives and their aggression, right? But now, this time, Sentinels, what they needed to work on was killing backline.
Emily playing Rivals? Yeah, she's playing right now.
You know, the backline alive. Renko keeping Aramori alive, making sure they're healthy. And they did it so well on that map, keeping Aramori and Renko healthy alongside Avery. Huge work from the Vanguard line and strategists. More importantly, Nectar, like you said, doing so much work, taking down basically everybody by himself.
Holy shit!
Like, although you see the 10
look at Sentinel's stats compared to DARKZERO now. Holy shit!
Start off really well on that second round, and also now has that extermination going into this third
30
round.
and 4, 29 and 4. Damn.
We'll see on this next map what the change is, and comp-wise, it's going to be nothing, Vicky. At the meantime, it's just, you know, keep it steady, right? Make sure that, you know, you use your ultimates at the right time. Ultron's Rage has been big for Rising. We saw in that last fight, I mean, Rising was going so aggressive, had to get bubble out of it, but it cost Kurova his life.
It goes to show you how well DARKZERO plays the objective. But yeah, why is your name Pooping Feels Good?
Spin just enough here, as Crimzo also has that freedom charge. Rising has a sustainability, and Kurova could do Kurova shenanigans with the It's Jeff. Before Sentinels now make their way onto the point first, are ready to start things off. There goes that extermination, but Smash finding Avery first is even bigger, as Avery will not have that same sustain to keep Sentinels up, and then Kurova just goes in for a follow-up. It's a buffet here.
Oh my God, Kurova!
Between Crimzo, Aramor, and Renko.
Yeah, might as well
Kurova!
Huge Jeff ult by Kurova. Rest in Poppy in the spike pit is the side of Sentinels.
FFF. Oh, man. I love that little flyby. Shout out to production, by the way, having a giggle at that too. But Kurova definitely having a good time here, but they have to lock in 1-1 apiece with Sentinels having Avery now coming back with that extermination as well as he was unable to use it before.
That's a good point. We'll see how it pans out for Sentinels. We've seen how important, oh my goodness, the tracking from Nectar there. Forcing Amazing to fall back. No more coolends to keep himself alive. But they do have the BRB shortly to bring him back. And there he is. Back in the fight. Meteor M from Madara. Can it connect this time around? It does. Sort of on the Crimso's shield. At least breaks in the meantime. And also, nobody can deal with this rocket. That's the tough part with these Star Lord comps. They actually don't really deal with Rocket all that well, but eventually it goes down Avery in the sky.
Booze. Appreciate the massive gift sub, my friend.
Back these strategists, maybe find impunity, find some in the front line, but that freedom charge negated it for the meantime. In the meantime, here comes Smash in the sky. Eventually, they do lose.
Oh, DARKZERO is definitely going to be playing the point here
for Sentinels to focus on, especially since they do have that Emma Frost advantage, and they're taking full advantage of it. Fully charged Emma Frost towards the point. DARKZERO have nothing in terms of ultimate charge.
Oh, the health pack.
They're just trying to fight for their lives back
here.
Yeah,
Shit.
Going down to
Good movement. Good movement.
Amazing wanting to build into that Ultron Rage here as Sentinels now down 4 of these members. DARKZERO, Madara having that Doctor Strange portals right back in, but with the invisible boundary met at the hands of Aramori, Techi's able to shut down Amazing before he can even fully utilize that Ultron ultimate here. They're keeping each other alive, but
damn, both teams are portaling to come back.
Bringing everybody back into rather DARKZERO coming in together.
DARKZERO does a real good job at stalling this point and not giving them, not flipping it.
Smash trades back Aramori. And it's just some stall out from the side of DARKZERO now, and Smash still finds another one. Holy crap. That controller aim assist is no joke, but at the current moment...
that controller aim assist is no joke.
The scariest targets, I don't know about you, Vicky, but the scariest targets to deal with for me, at least, is like a fully charged Emma Frost on point and these Star-Lords. Blaster barrage has been disgusting.
It's so scary, especially when you know the Emma Frost is just eating for free. It has 100% damage output here, but with the slight stall, you know, you get right back down to 0. You have to boost it back up again. And Crimzo, with the survivability that Crimzo has the freedom charge ready to go on the Captain America. He's also trying to eye out Madara, who wants to get that Meteor M, as the impact hasn't necessarily been all there with Crimzo having him in his eyes.
And Crimzo is being focused for now, at least. Same thing with Tenki. Sonic Seduction. Does it connect onto anybody? Knows the bubbles there. Just forces cooldowns out at the very least, but does the follow-up from Sentinels there at all? Yes, it is. In fact, they deal with impunity, but the Res brings him back. BRB advantage.
I want to see what Kurova does. Come on, Kurova.
So here's that Rocket Raccoon. With that, see you later towards the point. They find Teki too, removing him. Teki's res though with another BRB.
Come on, Kurova. Let's see how many people.
From Madara in the backside. Crimzo keeps his team healthy, but here's a huge ultimate committed by Kurova. Does he find anything? He finds the Captain America into the sky though. Both of these Star-Lords, Galactic Legends, aim assist doesn't matter at that point because your character's ultimate is an aim bomb.
Damn, Nectar fucking killing it right now.
Amazing, so huge work from Nectar. Sentinel still in control at that point. They stave off DARKZERO for now.
Nectar timing his ultimates in such a lovely way too, knowing DARKZERO really didn't have anything to help survive through that legendary, and now it's just the one last straggler being impunity, running for his life on the Captain America, so that way the stacker does not come out.
I mean, huge work, and ultimates now in their edge. We're entering 90% of the board. DARKZERO, they could lose it here and now. I mean,
okay, chat, last fight. Last fight. Who's gonna win? Sentinels has an ult. DARKZERO has nothing. It's gonna be tough.
To worry about is the Jeff there. 98. Here comes the Cap to touch. Cooldown used to dash to that point. But now you know that Cap is just there to kind of anchor. Can Sentinels take advantage of it?
Now the rest of DARKZERO now moving in. You talk about Tom Nook coming to collect his money.
Avery got the first pick, and that was on their... Oh, that might be big, chat. Oh, first map is going to Sentinels. First map is going to Sentinels. Damn, what a game, bro.
Huge map from Sentinels. A comeback there, too. Krakoa goes
what a fucking game, dude. What a game.
We have on our hands, folks, as Sentinels take game number 1 in this best out of 5, sorry, as we, you know, enter the end of the group stages. And not only is it proceeding, but it's also, like you mentioned earlier, a revenge game for DARKZERO, you know, not on the roster anymore, leaving to that separate team entirely and being replaced by 2 young guns and Sentinels at the moment.
42 and 6, 41 and 7.
We have the better roster.
Yeah, you look at...
Damn, they were targeting Aramori 11.
Had alone Techie, the damage output on that Emma Frost.
Damn.
Crimzo
Wait, what was that
just nailing
smash
down
with
that
17
Magneto
final hits on the
too
other
with
team?
Meteor M's and having that Freedom Charge ready to go to help stall out. It was back and forth a lot, very scrappy, but even with these game-breaking plays that we currently saw from Corolla trying to isolate some of the strategists, you have to remember, when Jeff is off the table, that's another one of your own respective strategists that are also not there to help you out. So if you don't get to cycle through those strategist ultimates and their Sentinels still able to put in a lot of oppressive damage, it can be a little tricky to try to restabilize.
Nectar was fucking popping.
Yeah, absolutely. And an incredible series back and forth between both sides, but it is interesting how, like, kind of, you know, hero pool wise, we're seeing some things change for DARKZERO. I mean, I'm not going to say Smash was the wrong choice to play Star-Lord there, but it's also like Rye was always on the back foot, it felt like, right? Like, every time we saw him play Ultron, he was doing, you know, well for sure. But, I mean, Sentinels was making his life absolute, you know, chaotic, right?
Yeah,
Sentinels,
Crimzo
MVP.
too, with the way that they were able to keep stalling out that point before DARKZERO had eventually flipped it here, leads the way as the MVP, 35 KOs, 6
I
going
hate Captain
down
America,
here
bro.
too. But looking at overall the way that this team is
Captain
actually
America.
standing up against DARKZERO, Nectar, Techie, the survivability too, and the damage output that we had Avery on, being on that Ultron, 16 final hits prior to that, having more final hits than what we see right here from Crimzo.
Yeah, I mean, Crimzo was doing so much for this squad on top of that brief deflect too with the shield. I mean, incredible work from the captain of Sentinels.
Okay,
and,
check. Well, give me
you know, we'll see if the
second.
series goes to a 5-mapper. It has the potential, but Sentinels, I mean, ban phase wise, it worked out for them. It seems like they gave up that Jeff and took full advantage of Techie on the Emma Frost, right? You mentioned how strong that hero is, and it seemed like there wasn't much that could be done against it.
Yeah, side by side, even just looking at the stats alone, in all honesty, Amazing got diffed being on the Ultron versus Avery. Avery not only had so much more impact in terms of healing, but also the damage output as well as getting those KOs, Dogman.
Avery looking good, but we'll see if game number 2, they can look as solid. It's coming up in a second after this short break.
Damn. Okay, so DARKZERO's map pick. I hope they win the next map, chat. Keep the game like, you know, keep the game close. I don't want to see a 3L like Envy and Rad. I want to see a close series, close. Why is Star-Lord good now? I think he's very consistent. He's a very consistent character. I blame Jay didn't bust it down for DARKZERO. They weren't here in my stream, bro. Listen, they were probably practicing and warming up and everything. I don't know. I think we saw less Star-Lord after we saw the triple res comp like disappear. But yeah, with they weren't really running Mantis, but Mantis Star-Lord is actually pretty good. Yeah. But I don't think they had a Mantis. Can I use my Prime sub on the mobile app, or is it website only? I think you're going to have to open on your phone the website. You can't use the app, I think. I don't know why it's 2025, almost 2026, and Twitch doesn't have an option for you to sub with Amazon Prime on your phone. They probably don't want to do that because they want to save money. The more you don't use Prime, the less they have to pay, so. Do they? I don't know. I don't use Twitch mobile. They added it like a year ago. Oh, there you go. So someone in chat was lying. You can sub with. You can use your Prime on your phone if it's connected. I will say, just for a heads up for everyone that doesn't Prime sub, if you use your phone to gift subs or buy a sub to someone or buy bits, wait till you guys get on a computer to do that. Because if you do it on the phone, you're actually paying more. because you're paying for the app fees, or not the app fees, like the Google fees and the Android fees and all that stuff. So make sure you guys wait to get on a computer. I think like doesn't like Apple charge like 30% more or something? Yeah, it's crazy. Very crazy, very crazy.
Sentinels versus DARKZERO is well underway, and we're entering map number 2. Vicky, we are going to a brand new map, and I'll let you intro it because this is the chance maybe for DARKZERO to reverse.
Okay, chat. Do you guys think they're gonna tie?
To put a point on the board.
Yeah, DARKZERO takes Sentinels to Central Park, and this will be the first time that Sentinels will be playing on Central Park.
You guys think they're going to tie?
I believe they're 1-0 on this map, so trying to get the upper hand here already going into map number 2 to flip the script currently with Sentinels leading the series.
You know, this is going to be interesting to see if
Oh
Sentinels
shit!
can
Yeah.
do something about this, right? Because like
Yo,
you said,
YouTube.
it is a new look for them.
I'm gonna turn off the stream and turn it back on. All you guys have to do is refresh, okay? It's almost at 12 hours.
And, keeping it steady because at the moment, yeah,
YouTube doesn't allow it doesn't record streams past 12 hours.
I'm sure are well studied on it. You know that maybe there's something you could do about it here, right? Ban phase 1.
Twitch, you guys don't have to worry about that. But YouTube
for DARKZERO.
Yeah, and the Captain America impact too that we even saw at some points. But going into Central Park, we're going to see a little mix of things here. I'm expecting maybe that triple Vanguard, triple strategist lineup to start rolling out. As we usually see, it's not really as much of a tradition when it comes to domination
Twitch, I just want to say, YouTube's finally gone. Thank God, right?
On defense, we just saw Central Park.
Oh my God, they're smelly.
Versus Envy, right? And we saw the impact that had, even with some interesting bans. But we got to see what the pick and ban phase is going to look like going next, because obviously Nectar was on another level. Avery here too on that Ultron. Are we gonna have these Ultron bans coming out? Because the verticality and the ability to get out of line of sight utilizing the roofs of this map is really nice. Until you get really to that third point, you could get away with a lot.
Okay, let's see if that works.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. There's so much cover, so much versatility in terms of what comps you can play, especially in Rivals where every flyer is usually constantly flying. And then there's some heroes, like you said, with Star-Lord, who is kind of like a semi-flyer, just with those, rocket packs, always in the sky, dealing with torches. And you mentioned Star-Lord. I mean, that's a character that even some teams are banning out now, at least in those last ban phases. We've seen that Venom
What's your favorite Gatorade color, if any? I used to drink a lot of orange.
I'm kind of with you.
I like the orange Gatorade, but I haven't had Gatorade in years.
I'm not expecting the Mantis to pass through again. Both of these teams were very well aware. We're very well aware of getting that out of here. I am interested to see, though, if one of these teams will let the Atom pass. If we're getting a swap up of these different bans, I do believe Sentinels had banned out the Invisible Woman against DARKZERO 2, which also made things a little tricky, right? Because Rymazing, as great as Rymazing has been, whether it be on other flyers or, the Ultron, the Torch, Rymazing definitely didn't have the same impact that Avery had on the Ultron. So looking at what that strategist lineup is going to look like,
get the new
Okorova's
iPhone?
looking like he's
No,
having way too much fun on the Jeff.
I think I have last year's iPhone. I think it's a waste of money to go every year buying the new iPhone.
We get to see how that could be disrupted a little bit if we're going to see that Animal Crossing lineup back up.
Plus, they changed like barely anything.
Strategist.
Yeah, I wonder if what if they will, because it makes sense that Kurova has been so dominant on it, like you said, and also Jeff on Central Park is crazy and is always something to be worried about. But we're going to enter the series now into that ban phase between Sentinels and DARKZERO. And
I'm still on my iPhone 4. Oh my fucking If you have an iPhone 4, you should definitely upgrade, bro. That's 10. That's more than 10 years of technology, bro.
Convergence map in this case for Central Park is
that's a big upgrade.
Convoy, and if it goes to a map 4, we reset all over again on domination. So with the side of Sentinels and DARKZERO, they're doing exactly as you said, Vicky, removing both Mantises ASAP.
Get that out of here, but the protection over onto the Ultron is smart here if you are looking at DARKZERO, because if they want to try to work out something different, maybe,
welcome back, YouTube.
Maybe try to lean into, all right, that first map didn't work out for us, but then the ban on the Adam Warlock.
Yo, Cosmic, appreciate it for 7 months. If you could delete one character from the game, who would you pick? Jeff.
Trying to diff the Ultron after seeing that they had protected it from the other side.
I'm pretty sure if Jeff gets deleted today, right now, no one would blink. No one would bat an eye. Everyone would be like, oh, okay.
Warlock removed, though, on the backside, so it looks like they're trying to stay with a somewhat typical comp, I guess, right? Because that last map was so close, maybe, right? There's so many things, so many reasons why that could be the case.
Gonna let the torch pass through. Oh, the Captain America being a problem is something DARKZERO has acknowledged here from Sentinels. Crimzo was constantly there and trying to be able to block out the Meteor M's from the Magneto. And if you do want to stick to the Jeff composition, having a Magneto on your team for those bubbles always comes in clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if the last series was like, I don't know, Blue Jays, Yankees, game 1, this one's looking a lot more like Dodgers versus Phillies. Sorry, baseball heads, had to do something there. But right now, Sentinels protect that invisible woman, like you said, and the torch
Watching baseball is
again,
boring.
Don't want to play against it, it seems like, this time around.
Playing baseball's fun.
Really have prioritized that ban.
Yeah, if you're gonna have the Ultron flying around, the last thing you need is for a reset opportunity with that torch. Torch equally just as good on Central Park. Home base, I guess, if you want to see it, as Invisible Woman is the next one saved here for both teams.
That is interesting. Yeah, keeping the Sky Lord alive in Ultron, and making sure also more Sky or anti-air or
yo, Ashley, appreciate the massive prime sub. Welcome.
And getting rid of a lot of strategists is DARKZERO's game plan, or rather Sentinel's game plan onto DARKZERO, and this is something that we've seen against other top teams, and it kind of works out, right? Banning only strategists.
I like this here. Smash is the one hovering over that Ultron here instead of what we had seen prior from Rymazing, who's now on the Namor.
Hey.
They're going to be running out the Hulk and Namor composition. So already changing things up, as I like to see it, as we get started with our second game now going into Central Park.
I see the adaptation from
That's my baby
Sentinels
boy.
to that ban phase, right? And DARKZERO. Like you said, that change up maybe over to Hulk and Namor. We've seen Rye also be an incredibly strong Namor in the past as well. I mean, they're pretty much one of the, I guess, most like matchups in the history of NA, at least American Marvel Rivals Esports, is, Delena versus Rymazing on a lot of the hit scan heroes. And it was eventually transitioned into, okay, Delena's a pretty good Hela and also Namor, but Rye's picked it up pretty well recently as well. Has been one of those top players, and that is an interesting choice, is what to put Smash over to that Ultron. So let's see if it pans out for DARKZERO on their attack, whereas Sentinels, they're going to run that Groot that we talked about earlier.
I like that side by side because it's funny because Zelena also picked up the Ultron, right? So we're kind of seeing that theme proceed here with Rymazing now being on that Namor, making a little swap up with Smash instead, taking control over that Ultron to change things up here. But that's also allowing Rymazing, because Torch wasn't banned, so if they have to make swaps, that still is available for them. So the Torch and Ultron are available for DARKZERO, whereas it's not for Sentinels, with Sentinels holding onto this defense already and Nectar being on the Bucky.
Ooh, Hulk and Namor versus Bucky. I like Bucky. I like my Bucky, chat. These are both of my most played.
That Namor and also the Terror Cape in this case comes in, but the Groot Wall slow it down for now on Sentinel's side, disrupting the push. But right now, Rye is set up on the top side. What can he do with it? Meanwhile, it's Nectar outputting the damage. Madara, he falls through that output from Nectar. You mentioned earlier how good Nectar is, and they're looking phenomenal.
Dude, I want to eat whatever Nectar had for breakfast, because Nectar today, I mean, Nectar's always a very solid duelist, but specifically in this matchup, he is stepping up with the impact that he's had. Last game, 41 and 7, 15 final hits. You combine that together with Mommy Emma having all the damned output she could have.
Did she just say Mommy?
In that front line, I mean, it's a very brutal and a high damage impact that you have to think about here. But DARKZERO will be able to now make the rotation here with Korova having that invisible boundary.
I'm going to take a wild guess and assume he ate a peach. Meanwhile, they come in. Ultron's Rage, push back the DARKZERO side, stun up, Impunity. Here comes that ultimate with the whale to stall out, or at least he's yeeted out there, it seems like, for Rymazing into that invisible boundary from Korova. Playing slow. Every ult pretty much popped in the last fight, besides Renko, who's coming up on his. Same thing with Impunity. Renko builds it up, but they lose Techie in the meanwhile. Can they come back? Impunity has built up the hook ult ready to go. If he needs to use it, also disrupt this backline. Make sure nobody's comfortable. However, Bucky does pretty well against Hulk, right? At the moment, it's on me on Rymazing. We've seen it phenomenal. Namor play on this point. Can Rye pop off, though? He's not on the height like we've seen other Namors do. Already forced to use his shift. Portal is here, though, for this defense on Sentinel's side, so they're going to stall it out, even though the picks are being found by Rye.
That was nice. Turning around, making sure Nectar has no opportunity to back away, as now Sentinels, their defense is crumbling right before their feet. That's even with Techie trying to make the comeback after swapping off the Emma Frost over to the Doctor Strange, to portal right back around. Used it up earlier, now swaps back towards the Emma Frost, and DARKZERO have a plethora of ultimates in this next upcoming fight.
And with the map unbroken, we'll see this team sort of set up their flanks, right? But on the defensive point,
all right,
usually
playing
this
with
is
the
where
cat.
we see teams start to get those, first holds. Meanwhile, DARKZERO,
Do you think you,
right
Emong, Flats, ML7, Aspen, and Necros can compete with a top-tier
on the bridge side angle.
rivals?
Really
no.
just kind of going as a cohesive unit, but Amazing on the top side.
Half, if not half, or more of that team that you just said doesn't even play this game.
On, Ultron's Rage as well onto this back line. But again, Sentinels looking so improved at healing this off instead. Amazing though, counterpoint, giant trident in the whale in your face.
The Moby Dick coming out now. The Terror came to follow. You talk about utilizing that freeze. It gives more room for Impunity to breathe and get aggressive, especially when he has to worry about Nectar here, but he doesn't really
nice
have
shots.
to.
Nice shots. They're doing really well considering it took them a long time to cap first.
I mean, I was going to compliment Sentinels how well they kept their backline alive. However, well, they lost Nectar. Tough fight for them, but at least the ult's used, right? Like you mentioned, and now Sentinels get to walk in with the...
I'll tell you what, the three people that actually kind of do play this game, like if you have me and Necros on a team, I can tell you one thing, I'm actually not going to be the shortest one on the team. And also if you add Flats, well, I mean, Flats doesn't really consistently play this game, but at least we'll know what characters to play because his tier list.
They try to get the Wombo combo together with Nectar, but it falls short. The Eternal Bond met with Velocity keeps everybody in DARKZERO alive. They're going to cycle that with Korova survivability on the Invisible Boundary, and with the Psionic Seduction from Techie trying to turn the tide. It's going to be met Invisible Boundary to Invisible Boundary, looking like a Venn diagram with Sentinels clearing the floor, taking control of this fight and wiping out DARKZERO.
Hey, you mentioned Techie in the last map, how good he was, and on this one, looking to repeat that performance and getting those eliminations through both Stratus ults is huge for sure. As we're even in that Ultron's Rage department, I mean, Impunity can go off. We've seen him do it before, too. This was also a recent pickup. More of a not talked about one, I think, with Impunity joining this roster from Shroud X.
Why are you guys all spamming the same?
He's been a big part of this roster.
You guys look like bots.
Probably the best, honestly, from Shroud X. So DARKZERO bringing all the good pieces together, but with Nectar getting a little bit of revenge. He's found Smash in the middle.
You guys literally look like bots, bro. Someone's gonna come to my stream and be like, "Excuse me, Jay3, why are you view botting, man? You change, man. It's dead streamer."
Was he blinded there too? That was an insane shot from the meatball out of the bullet or out of the gun for Nectar. And now they're trying to string these fights together, Vicky. This is a little bit worrisome for DARKZERO. Back-to-back losses.
This is the part of the second checkpoint, too, that is the most difficult, in my honest opinion. You have the card so close to that checkpoint, but now you're being fully held. You're trying to take to the skies, right? Amazing made the swap over to the torch, trying to stay alive while looking at Avery here, but it's going to be hard when you also have Nectar landing so many of these shots.
Over the top side, here comes Madara with his Sonic Seduction, starting it out really early. Meanwhile, Diamond Former on the backside, trying to do a lot of damage. Amazing in the sky, trying to pressure out at least some strat ults, but hasn't had the opportunity here in the sky. Avery commits that Ultron's Rage alongside the Meteor. Can't find the backline. It does it. In fact, Crimson goes down. So does Avery. Amazing. No way. Shutting down.
I'm pretty sure they faded and dodged that.
Ultimates, in fact. So Meteor removed. Ultron's Rage gone. Nothing else for the defensive side of Sentinels.
Not banning Amazing's Human Torch is actually that's a mistake.
Had the win ult economy for the start of that engagement when Madara had opened up with that Psionic Seduction. That was insane.
That's a mistake.
That Meteor with the slam down, I was wondering.
Why does Human Torch always melee while fireballs? If you melee, you are changing the hitbox of your character and also making it harder for you to get a headshot, I think, or just hit in general. And you also regenerate your primary fire quicker.
With Sentinels struggling versus Torch players, right? We've seen that yesterday as well versus 100 Thieves. We'll see if that narrative continues, though. Here comes an ultimate from the backside of Renko, but at the moment, DARKZERO's made it very far. I mean, even today, we haven't seen teams even make it out of second phase of the map. Crimzo falls, though. That's a terrible pick. Nectar soon to fall.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Madara with the big ult. Amazing finishing it. Yo. Yo.
Making the swap over to the Star-Lord, and DARKZERO with less than 50 seconds on the clock are looking to hold.
Amazing is a very good fucking player, man.
Ready to go. Smash on the top side with the Ultron's Rage. Truly going to dive in with Impunity and
Amazing reminds me of, like, he's probably one of the best DPS players. He reminds me of me a lot.
Forcing them back in the spawn. Ultron's Rage is here, but has to touch cart. Somebody has to. It's going to be Nectar. Avery taking so much damage with the Snowflake. Can he be kept alive? The healing is good. Crimzo's back with a BRB2, but do they have enough people to even stall it out? Techie coming up with that ultimate in a moment. Bubble onto Avery, somehow keeping him alive as the back line, but then they lose that back line. Redco and Armor
Dude,
immediately fall, and with that
they do not, bro. They don't want to lose, bro.
Trying to rely on Nectar and Avery.
Ooh! 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 Get him! Ooh! Get him! Get her done! Get her done! They're not going to be able to get a portal. I don't think they're going to be able to get a portal. No, it's too fast. Too slow. Too slow. No. No. That was, hey, that's a good push, though. That's a good push.
Are you kidding me? The Magneto.
That was a really good fucking push by them, chat. Nectar was literally insane.
Literally what we just witnessed from Sentinels
literally.
There in the second checkpoint just happened to DARKZERO when they were less than 1 meter away from the finish line.
Oh my God. Whew. I didn't know how Sentinels would come back. Genuinely 1% win condition there, Vicky, wasn't it? Like, that is crazy.
DARKZERO was looking really good, bro. DARKZERO was really looking really good. I'm actually really surprised they lost that.
I mean, what more can you say about those two?
Nectar, though.
Nectar is juiced up, man. He's juiced. He is juiced on this team, and all the pieces of Sentinels are helping him be enabled to pop off.
Yeah.
12 and 5.
Amazing, also 24 and 4. Damn.
DARKZERO earlier on before that second checkpoint prior to that, and still DARKZERO had a good amount of momentum. Moving forward, though, Aramori having to be a little careful here now, making the swap ups that we're currently seeing before they start things off on the attack. But even better, looking at DARKZERO, looking at Amazing, making that swap up to the torch. Obviously, the Hulk and then the more, yeah, they were getting those crucial picks there when they were trying to push on the attack, even taking flanking routes, but that torch was scary.
Right, and that leads us to the current board state almost of this rivals match. It's that for as good as Nectar's hero play was alongside Avery in that hold from Sentinels, they still almost had the entire map capped on them. And
insane games. These are the games that make me want to get better and better. That's good, right?
I mean,
it's like watching
Sentinels at the current moment.
Let's just say you're into basketball. It's like watching basketball highlights of your favorite player, and then like trying to do that on the basketball court the next time you play with friends or like at a park or whatever.
Look at back to back, and the focus, the split focus right now too. This is so important to highlight if you're trying to grow as a player, because you're not giving up space, you're not giving up pressure, but you're also helping peeling for your backline too.
Unfortunately for Bucky, I mean, so much utility in that character now, can send Amazing down to the ground with his ease, also with that bionic hook, trying to go for something, gets pulled in by that force physics on the opposite side. But nothing happens just yet. This is kind of how these teams played right now. Stratus holds built right now. Avery comes in with that Ultron's Rage. DARKZERO coming up on their own. Almost. Smash is so close. They're forced to use the green.
Nice dive to the green.
Regain domain, but no, they stay alive. They're built up that Ultron's Rage on the top side. Ryze also very aggressive now. Everybody's caught out now, or at least Avery on that opposite side.
Was that Emily? Oh yeah, if you hear screaming, it's Emily. She's playing Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, and with the invisible boundary called in from Aramori, Amazing just got away with putting out not only so much pressure, but
I really appreciate you doing these watch parties / explaining stuff, Jay. Oh, no problem. I love it.
Sustain long term to get any sort of progress on that point.
It's like
numbers already.
It's like I'm the dad, and you guys are like the kids, but like. At your house, obviously. Have you guys ever watched sports with your dad, and your dad's like just talking shit about everyone? But like, that's the fun part about being a spectator. You get to just talk shit and just watch.
Transition today. DARKZERO are trying to make it smooth though. With 2 minutes left to go, they have that.
But a lot of my shit talking is friendly shit talking. I only shit talk my friends who are playing this game. I don't want to shit talk people I don't know, because then they think I'm actually serious, which I'm not. I mean, obviously these guys are a lot better than me, and but I just like trolling.
It didn't hit you in the head, but it's fine. At least this projectile can, and they do get the trade-off though, because Smash is able to find Nectar despite these strategist ultimates that are being called in. Invisible boundary from Korova bringing.
This is a crazy hold by DARKZERO.
Had also used up the fate of both worlds to allow Sentinels to move up.
Yeah, I just got distracted in that fight as eventually DARKZERO get it done. Despite losing Amazing, that ragdoll was just so funny. He just like got KO'd, smacks into the pillar. It's always Rye on this map too. It's like Central Park. He gets kidnapped by Terra. A little bit of a baby rage moment. I mean, you remember that too from stage 1?
I remember. That was hilarious. The ragdoll effect is always some of my favorites when it comes to games like this as well. And Sentinels, some of their favorites is going to be that Ultron ultimate too, right? Avery had so much impact prior with this Ultron. Aramori taking a good amount of damage. She will be fine though, as Nectar also has a Star-Lord legendary here. Nothing sweet about this gameplay here. That's why they call him
To be
Nectar,
honest
though,
with you,
as he's
if I couldn't
push it down to impunity. Madara gets stunned temporarily.
I think it's really good that like a lot more esports.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice pick off, but at the meantime, they're going to rely on Nectar.
Oh, chat, never mind. I'll talk about it after.
Earlier, 48 seconds left to go. Into the inside, finds one, finds two. The fall-up's there, and this is what we saw at the end of their defense. But can they keep it up? The portal is here. Amazing goes through it just to live back into the spawn. Nectar trying to find them with
It's really nice that a lot of these oh god damn it, I thought they were gonna cap. Oh, they capped. It's really good that a lot of these esports like
that was so close too. They like just
games are now allowing like streamers to co-stream their game because like you get more viewers for your game and whatnot. Like Overwatch League, for an example, a long time ago, Overwatch League didn't allow streamers to co-stream their game, and I think that's really bad. Like, so I never watched Overwatch League, and my viewers who never watched Overwatch League didn't watch it either.
Gets those right-handed peaks this time that he didn't get on offense.
And I'm pretty sure there's people going to be in my chat who wouldn't watch these games unless I was watching it.
Make sure that they can maybe set up Nectar to go aggressive. Supernova available, pops it.
So therefore, if I wasn't watching it and you guys are not watching it, we're not like supporting their pro scene. And I think it's a lot of fun.
So having these 4 ultimates ready to go, nearing 5 with the Fate of Both Worlds from Renko though, and finding Smash. The man's not missing. He's dripping with confidence, living up to the name once again, but trying to avoid the Sonic.
And plus, watching these games are gonna only make us better. I mean, you probably might see a pro do something that's crazy, and you might implement that into your game, and then hey, you might get better.
Unfortunately, they're going to stall out for sure at the very least for that car. It's only 2 members, though, just Kurova and his Vanguard in Madara. They'll have ults at the very least, but it's a tough pill to swallow, losing him there and that ult.
Nectar still getting these crucial picks here, too, in the sky. Nobody is safe. DARKZERO, though, with Smash going down first early in that previous fight, will be able to have the extermination coming in. Velocity making that swap up too, having that Loki. Could get that God of Mischief online just to allow DARKZERO to control more space, because with Sentinels trying to match that with Renko having the Fit of Both Worlds, they're pushing all the way up.
They are.
I taught these guys everything they know. What do you mean?
Here comes that invisible boundary from Velocity, who's on Loki. We talked about how that hero's been sort of on the comeback, even though he got nerfed in the previous patch. Now comes that dive from Techie, taken down by Amazing, when they didn't really have much to work with either, so that's a huge pick. When he had Beast of Abyss too, in terms of Techie's side, this Galactic
I wouldn't be here for sure, but your commentary is great. Oh, dude, bro, my commentary is not. I just talk shit.
But Ryan's done a great job of just harassing and falling back.
I just make fun of some of my friends, and I make fun of the streamers that I know. It's fun.
Avery with the follow-up, trying to find actually some of those members in the sky. That regenerative domain, keeping everybody healthy too. Those are gone. Cooldown's used, Impunity's down again. Target focused for sure. Huge work from Sentinels.
That was huge too, right out of the Beast of the Abyss too. It looked like right after he tried to use it, getting stunned and then getting taken out. The Supernova now coming in for Amazing, while Smash tries to keep everyone alive, tries to build up some space. But
also, the cool thing I really do enjoy about these tournaments and whatnot is like some of the pros actually do come to our chat and talk, and then you guys get to talk to some of the pros, and it's actually really cool that some of them take the time out of their day right after their match or even before their match and come here to talk to us, and like it's pretty cool.
Straddles used Kurova, using his velocities coming up. They lose Crimzo in the middle of the fight. Renko's not even close at all. Sonic Seduction on defense. Can they get Straddles?
Uh-oh. 2 people down already. Can Sentinels tie it up?
Renko's close to that. Luna Snow dance for. They lose Avery with the Ultron's Rage. The damage out from Madara has been huge. They lose everybody. It's just Crimzo and Renko. Nectar's going to come back. Can they clutch it up again? The newbies. Portal's not going to be up, I think, in time for Avery to even come back to the portal, so he's going to make that slow crawl back from spawn. Overtime ticks down. Portal block came through, and nobody else is here from Sentinel's side.
Damn! Hey, chat, we got ourselves a game. We got ourselves a match, bro. Tied 1-1.
The timing, too, of those staggers at the very end. Talk about
if DARKZERO caps the next point, bro, and leads 2-1, I actually might clap without my hands.
This is what we saw. It's very hard to cap out the whole map, right? So,
yo, IQ different. Appreciate the massive 3 months.
On the defense, but yeah, the moment we go over to offense, Big you called it. It's always going to be tough versus, I mean, Torch, right?
Oh, the family and I. Hey, I appreciate IQ. That's awesome. That's awesome. Say hi to the family.
Yeah, something else to note is just looking at the way that DARKZERO had to make the adjustments that they needed with Amazing out of the portal right back in. They still elongated that fight in their favor.
Oh, this is the finals for
velocity over until that
the lower bracket.
But it's even crazier to see how DARKZERO.
The grand finals are tomorrow. Game, we'll be watching that too.
Even going into Central Park where they had the advantage. We talked about the map stats before. This is the first time that Sentinels has played on Central Park for stage 2 here in Americas. So with Amazing,
imagine if Sentinels don't qualify. It doesn't matter who loses these games though. Even let's just say hypothetically Sentinels lose, they're still going to be playing next week because next week are the playoffs. The playoffs is where you want to win. If you are not the top 4 teams in NA and during the playoffs, you will not be making the LAN.
Right, and they play on Central Park. Now we'll see what happens as the next map pick comes through. We'll head to another domination, and that could change.
No, best of 5.
You know, the trajectory of Sentinels, right? We saw the last map. You know, obviously before Central Park was a big map for Sentinels, or at least we're going to Convoy. Sorry, not Domination next. I forgot that this is only the second map. It was such a long one that it almost felt like we were entering a game already.
No, this is the last match of the day.
Right, but showing some bias. MVP will be Ryan.
First ever esport match I've ever watched. This is sick, and your commentary makes it better. Hey, stupid fucking shark! I appreciate it. What a name.
Phenomenal on torch throughout the map.
Yeah, exactly. Was on the majority of that torch here until the very end. 37 KOs, by the way, at 34,000 damage output. What we were talking about, Nectar being able to find a lot of those final hits.
Are you going to play after this? Oh, probably not, bro. I've been streaming for 12 and a half hours already. I am very, very tired. We've been doing 15-hour days the past few days. I've had like 5 hours of sleep the past few nights because I've been watching The Boys.
Dominant, straight up. Right?
Speaking about The Boys, I don't know if you guys have been watching it or watched it already. I just finished season 2.
I guess it is still triple strategist, but you know, the top torch players can still hard carry like we saw. Not that it was just him; it was Impunity creating space and stuff too. But phenomenal work from DARKZERO to tie up the series. Now we're tied up 1-1.
Dang, you still streaming? Yo, speaking about family chat, my dad is in the chat. Yo, what's up, Dad? How you doing? How you doing?
But also, something else that we have to call out here. Hella, you know.
Skill issue. Appreciate the massive gifted sub to Stupid Fucking Shark and Drunken Llama. Appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend.
Hella Grim Lady Skin yet. What are you doing?
Also, no, I have not watched Kaiju number 8. I've had no free time chat.
If you're a competitive nerd, if you're a hardcore nerd, it removes.
My days usually go, I wake up, I watch EMEA, I play a few ranked games, I watch NA finals, and then I watch one episode of The Boys with Emily to spend some time with her, and then I go to sleep.
Listen, I'm just all for removing screen clutter. That's why I like the bikini skin so much, you know? That's because it removes so much of the potential things in the way of seeing
all's well. W, Dad, what did you have for dinner, Dad?
Watch and look at. Anyways, we're going to do a short break. We'll see you guys in just a bit.
They're on a short break.
Map number 3.
Wait, the Kaiju number 8 season ended? Nice. I probably have to finish the anime then. I also do need to watch the Demon Slayer movie. I want to see it. And I heard to watch Gen G after the, sorry, not Gen V after The Boys, but I also heard I should probably watch Marvel Zombies or Zombies Marvel or whatever the fuck it's called. I heard people are like, that's the new hype. Marvel, yeah, Marvel Zombies, that thing. Is it good? Should I actually watch it? Or don't waste my time. Oh, Dad, you had beef stew. Interesting. Nice, nice. Nice. Okay, I'll probably watch it. The Halloween skins that are coming out are in the show. Wait, are you guys dead ass? Watch Gen V Season 1 after The Boys Season 3, then The Boys Season 4, then Gen V Season 2. Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to watch all of The Boys and then all of Gen V. Oh, you used the pressure cooker. W, Dad, WW. Oh, wait, this is my favorite jam. The Jeff version of this song is good. Okay, wait, what did we play? We played Koth. We played a hybrid. We're going to a payload map, chat. What payload map do you guys think we're going to? I'm calling it. We're either going to Yggdrasil or that map where you push the Panther. I'm calling it. I know I'm getting old because I got excited about things like pressure cookers. That's exactly what I was saying to chat yesterday, bro. You know you're getting old when you get happy. Like, I was getting happy for plates and cups and silverware.
Welcome back, everybody. We're entering a third map
they might play that. Yeah, wait, no, they might play Midtown.
Coming to fruition. Now, we thought the series would sort of result in Vicky. We're now heading to a convoy map for our third game between Sentinels and DARKZERO. Sentinels think this next map should be a
true.
good one for them,
See,
right?
Taylor?
Yeah, well, this is the thing, though. We're going on to Spider Islands, and I do not believe Sentinels has played on
Spider Islands.
Yes, so they're taking
I
the
was
gamble
completely
here just
wrong.
because this is the map that DARKZERO has fallen on. So trying to play into those strengths, that's something to consider, because we've also seen certain teams, you know, get pushed into maps that they may not shine on, yet still be able to make those adjustments to be able to take the dub. So we're gonna have to see if this does flip the script here, considering that we have a tied series on our hands.
That would be interesting. I think, yeah, it's a good point, because, I mean, Sentinels has fought pretty hard competition so far. And, I mean, not to say that DARKZERO hasn't, but because they've had to make that reverse sweep to that lower bracket. I mean, hardest competition being Nemesis, right? Being one of those top teams, the one that beat them in the upper bracket. But for that side, for Sentinels, I mean, the challenge against 100 Thieves, it feels like 100 Thieves are never out of it, Vicky. Like, it seems like this team is somehow always good, even though a lot of us, I think, doubt them sometimes. They always manage to be a very, very solid team, and Sentinels obviously lost to them in the upper bracket, now have to play against DARKZERO here and go to that Spider Islands map, like you mentioned. Neither of these teams, both of these teams could be questionable here.
I love how you bring that up too, just the history. It's like, I always say 100 Thieves individually just have a built-in rage meter, right? They just have to be their backs pushed against the wall.
Yeah, that's the team you would think would have broken up first before Sentinels, right? Because like all of their drama is aired publicly. It's great. I'm sure it's healthy, right? Maybe that's why they say arguments for couples is good, you know? Despite how toxic it may be to hear your neighbor yelling at his wife and his wife yelling at him. You know, sometimes it's, at least they're talking, right? You know,
you're not getting away.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I mean, we're seeing that here too with the way that Sentinels have to rework things, as well as DARKZERO, how they said it in their interview, the way that they have to keep each other accountable. And now looking at the ban phase, we still are seeing the Adam get pulled off here. So both Adam and Mantis once again still stuck in ban jail, while Jeff though is off the table here because they're tired of seeing what Kurova could do. He wasn't able to play that Jeff, I believe, last game too. So no Jeff once again, and no Captain America on the side of DARKZERO, where they're going to be able to answer that after the experience they had in game number 1 versus Crimzo.
I like that ban jail. That's probably going to be a social media post later. Meanwhile, Luna, no, ban on the opposite side. Just see little Jeffy behind bars, you know, trying to break out, maybe with like a cup.
Yeah,
she's
beautiful. She's beautiful.
Sentinels, though, I mean, you're right. Getting rid of Jeff now is smart because Kurova, you know, played it last map, but no torch ban yet again. Instead, targeting the characters that can maybe support it.
Right heroes could make all the difference.
Well, not that well. Not that well, though.
Well, yeah. Well, looking at the fact that now they've protected both the Ultron and the Invisible Woman, it's literally a copy paste of what we just witnessed.
She just actually turned 8 like
the last game, right?
Like a week ago.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at least they get rid of the Luna. I mean, yeah, Luna's good. Jeff's good too. So. Fair play, fair play.
Ban the torch.
And our youngest kitty just turned 6 months, 3 days ago.
Pan out for them, right?
I don't know where that little guy is.
Again, I mean, I hate to say it, it's like a narrative, and you know, whatever. Sometimes narratives are drawn out.
Have a good night, Bass.
Sure, but I mean, just going off of recent history, Sentinels have to figure out
Taylor,
how to play against Torch. I mean, they got absolutely dominated by Terra. Terra, you know, really kind of coming back on. It's
Emily's cat, though.
Top DPS players, duelist players in the game.
Rarely comes into this room. She's actually mad at us because we got the boy cat.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for this team to deal with it, and maybe if they go against it today, they have a solution.
And we're gonna have to see here now as we get started with game number 3. It is best of 5 once again. For those of you guys just tuning in, you've caught us in a banger of a match with Sentinels versus DARKZERO. And already out of the gates, DARKZERO gonna be on that defense.
Okay,
Sentinels
chat,
starting
let's see
things
this.
off on the attack. They're the ones that chose the
It's
style that they
tied
wanna be on
1-1.
here. Just looking at the stall opportunity here too that DARKZERO could try to provide. Looking at Smash, Madara, they're gonna utilize Amazing being on the rocket to have that BRB.
Yeah, that makes sense. The triple yet again.
Oh, I actually did not know that you could destroy that. Wow. Learn something new every day.
We'll see how Sentinels play against it. Usually it's a lot of those teams that, well, by the way, on the high ground, Velocity just sitting in Narnia. Unfortunately, watching his team die in front of him, right? It's just everybody's getting KO'd one after the other. Stalling it out, though, at the very least, but a good take from
Oh, no. That was very
close
risky,
point.
bro. That was very risky.
Yeah, they're going to have the number advantage. Honestly, seeing Kurova and Amazing in that side room, I know they were trying to sustain Madara there, but they were also caught off guard with Nectar taking a nice little cheeky angle as the recontest now from Impunity on the Doctor Strange allows them to move back in with Velocity still sticking onto that Loki.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion. Oh my gosh, meanwhile. Oh, Kurova, no! Close enough for those greens. Just walk forward to Velocity. Unfortunately, lose the BRB too. Kurova gonna be sent back to spawn. Does not have that from Amazing, who was, I believe, trying to move it because they didn't even break it. Nectar as well tracks down onto Amazing and Velocity. And right now, this backline is just not together, right? This was what I was going to talk about earlier, Vicky. Like when they were on the inside.
Damn, bro.
If Velocity was actually in there with them, I feel like.
Pretty sure they took 2 fights and they only took out a minute and like 20 seconds, bro. That's bad.
The lamps,
Sentinels
and,
are,
like, the lamp opportunity. Maybe it was probably disordered, like used up already early right before that. But if the lamps would have come in clutch in a space like that, and Nectar.
Oh, wait,
just a
he was
silent
stuck.
assassin right now, hanging onto the rooftops of Spider Island, doing things.
Oh, that is a big pick, bro, by Nectar.
Nectar is dripping with not just sweetness, but just taste and sour with the taste he's leaving in DARKZERO's mouth.
Was that a good spot for a portal? Pro teams do that.
He's not having
so what a lot of pro teams do, if you see top left, they run 3 tanks, 3 supports, and usually they try to stall the spawn as much as possible, and then they teleport back and stall as much as possible, and then they take another fight, and you basically have 3 fights on first point instead of only 1 fight or 2.
Now he gets a slam down back to his team.
So basically, they're trying to waste as much time as possible.
The win condition still remains the same, where he's gonna be a threat up on those roofs.
And then if they cap, they lose one of the tanks and they go DPS.
Yeah, usually Impunity is that consistent mainstay of DARKZERO, so him going down there is brutal. Now they finally come back, put Torch on. Or Amazing on Torch, which honestly you could say for both, right? Is the Torch playing Amazing or is Amazing playing Torch? Sentinels back to the spawn though, and now we're back on to seeing a comp that DARKZERO, I'm sure we're comfortable playing with.
Amazing's like, enough of this triple Vanguard here.
What's up, Karan?
That's all we need here with Smash playing that second duelist, the hybrid role that Ultron could take on here. Amazing's about that as Supernova, but you have to stay alive as Kurova has that invisible boundary. Saving that right on time here too, since it was a little bit of a slow build up for that ultimate after the first 2 pickoffs that we saw. And now Sentinels, they do have 3 answers though after forcing out that invisible boundary.
Well, here's the Ultron's Rage, forces out that Luna Snow dance floor. Nobody going down either for DARKZERO. In fact, it's Nectar to fall, who got grabbed, choke slammed by Madara. And with that, I mean, Madara just closed it out.
Amazing on Torch is just too good, dude.
And Madara on Emma Frost.
I'm really surprised they didn't ban it.
Man, and you get the team up 2 together with the shield, by the way, that Kurova provides, being on the Invisible Woman too. That's just something to highlight, considering that they didn't ban out that Torch, whereas Sentinels can't use that. Here, as Avery does have that elimination ready to go, here Velocity could counter that with the Eternal Bond, but Amazing's gonna want to try to keep them on this choke with that Supernova eventually.
Termination in the sky from the Ultron's Rage. He dodges around the corner to reduce his effect of the Sonic Seduction. In fact, comes back through and finds
Avery
again. You pointed it out earlier, Vicky. Nice shots there, and the follow-up from that Ultron's Rage. They did use also another earlier on with Techie, but still a good fight win on Sentinels.
Sweet moves, right?
Now looking at what's coming up next here, while Sentinels get more progress here on the point, and Nectar keeps controlling even more of this space. Aramori's got that invisible boundary, while Crimson's got that Sonic Seduction. Kurova slowly approaching his own invisible boundary, but it's gonna be opened up with the Sonic Seduction first, and Velocity was ready with the Eternal Bond to allow DARKZERO to replant their feet on this defense.
And they're slowly stalling it out right now. Cart still pushing forward for Sentinels. Eventually that Eternal Bond will run dry. Supernova forces out invisible boundary from
Also,
Armor.
everyone talking about the Iron
Sustaining
Fist
that
changes.
out.
I don't think the
Smash
Iron
also
Fist
has
changes
Ultron
are
Rage coming up.
necessarily a buff. They decrease his overall his base damage from 9 to 8.
Can he get eliminations through that rage and also those?
And then they
rebounds
changed
from
his
Cloak and Dagger?
damage percentage,
Looks
so
like the answer is no,
he's
but the
basically
damage
doing
could
more
be done
damage to
because Madara
tanks.
falls in the front line due to, you talked about it earlier,
I don't
the
think
pressure
overall
provided
he
by
does
the
more
back.
damage or has like more
Man,
DPS. He
Crimson
just
was ready
he's
to try to
he's a
help
tank
heal as
buster.
Velocity follows up and finds Nectar in the sky. Velocity says, I'll take matters into my own hands. Swapping over to the Cloak to also get that reset on the reload, as well as Amazing now getting that dive, sending back Sentinels to the choke, while the supports are playing patty cake to stay
Oh, does he?
alive.
Iron Fist does the same damage to 250
what
health targets?
The only way back into that fight was maybe if Crimzo gets a grab, but huge work from DARKZERO.
Someone actually has to do the math.
Ultimates, and now Sentinels have 60 seconds left to go, and this is looking very familiar. Right, this is like the second phase of the map again for Sentinels on Central Park. We'll see if they can close it out though this time around. As they're on attack, right? They can maybe build that momentum. No ultimate, especially.
Oh, they got back?
Wait.
Captain. Are you kidding me? Wait, who the hell? Who did that? That's the first time I've never
That
recognized
is
the back half happening.
embarrassing, bro. Is that the first C9 that we've
I need to
seen in the
rewatch.
pro
I'm sorry
tournament?
for
Oh,
missing
Chad,
a
that is
terrible
embarrassing.
tactical moment. What a play. From
That
Sentinels,
is
the back half.
embarrassing, bro. Oh, DARKZERO, bro.
Oh my. Nectar together with Techie, you cannot ignore this because the combination here between Sentinels are going to be able to try to get this dive opportunity to follow up between Techie and Nectar. And Nectar
Oh,
can
you
actually
know
play
they're
as
not fun. That
Avery
chat, that
opening
is a
things up,
mental
splitting things into
destroyer,
the
bro.
zero.
You know their
Next,
voice comms are
you
probably
see
like,
Bubbles
hey,
come
what
back
the
here
fuck,
too, as
man?
Infinity does have the reset available with a Feast of the Abyss, but Sentinels are just not getting stopped here.
A huge play from Sentinels to get it done. But we'll see if the gimmick pans out. Here comes the Eternal Bond from Velocity.
Jay,
side.
stop.
Slow
What?
down.
Dude, but getting backcapped is the worst, especially in a tournament.
One shot with impunity or something along those lines. Supernova, though. On the backside, Madara able to find Techie into the sky now. Nectar realizing he's shot ultra pop. Wants to come back through to this invisible boundary to stay alive, too. Making sure it's the double pocket, by the way. Both Drone and Snowflake on him. Making sure that they pretty much aren't targetable. Nice tracking, by the way, in the sky. Then goes in with the blasters. All those cooldowns used. They lose impunity, too, because of all the pressure that Nectar and the Vanguards, in terms of Techie, is providing.
The sustainability from Renko, as you highlighted, between the Snowflake here too. Oh my, he gets smashed too in the middle of the air. Who's so close to having the Ultron Rage. Now Avery has it here. Sentinels could use this for not only spacing, but for that resustainability. But again, trying to enable Nectar is the goal here from Sentinels, as he's clearing the space and also continuously splitting up that backline, harassing.
When are the Atlanta games happening? End of this month and beginning of November.
Right, Nectar's putting the team on their absolute backs right now. If we talk about top-tier players, Nectar slowly but surely entering some of the best in the entire world, but DARKZERO still have a chance to win it now. Madara finds Techie with the grab, also the kick into the wall. Eternal Bond also gives him a ton of sustain. Impunity trying to live on the backside. Armory falls, though. To Velocity and Impunity, and nobody's there to touch again. No back tap this time around, Vicky. Sentinels get stopped again in third phase.
Bro,
that's dog, man.
That was crazy.
What's crazy is that, you know,
that's
in the
embarrassing.
Game, like sometimes the music kicks up when the time is running out and you feel your heart racing. Sometimes you got to look back to make sure no one's trying to back cap or whatever. But in that moment, you can
hold up, chat. I want to see something. Is it going to take me too far back?
The Eternal Bond to allow DARKZERO to replay.
Velocity sides. I need to rewatch Central Park. Zero to
okay. Wait, it happened.
Avoiding of the Emma Frost.
Wait.
Back Sentinels to the choke.
Oh my god, that was such an insane back cap. Look how long it took.
Over to the Cloak to also get that reset on the reload, as well as Amazing now getting that.
Wait, no one capped the point. That's what the problem was. It wasn't a back cap. I don't think the cart got stopped in general. Look. The cart is still red. They got off. No one stopped it. Wait, they're fighting on the point right now? No one stopped it again?
I mean, Rye, expert avoiding of the Emma Frost. The only way back.
No one stopped it, bro. Look at it. Look at it.
Huge work from DARKZERO to
look at it. It's just going.
Have 60 seconds left to go, and this is looking very familiar. Right, this is like the second phase of the map again for Sentinels.
Oh no!
We'll see if they can close it out though this time around. As they're on attack,
oh
right? They can build that
no,
momentum.
Bro, that is a tilter.
I can't, man. I can't. There's no. I mean, but that also makes a difference maker, right? Rivals, you need need to be able to have control over the point.
The worst feeling when that's happening, chat, is that you don't hear it or anything. All you hear is, all you see when you look in the middle of your screen is the number going down from 5 meters to 0, and they cap.
Impunity's able to find Crimzo. Nectar gets the trade right afterwards. Avery is the next to go out, and Amazing pulling up with the magic on this checkpoint, by the way, is cooking, because we've seen this work before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different look.
They haven't gotten progress, by the way.
And yeah, still haven't. They are terrible at the objective at the current moment, but regardless, that's because of Sentinels kind of throwing themselves.
Oh, by the way, the person that was asking if that was a good portal, see, the other team is doing it too. 3 tanks, 3, well, except they have a DPS, but they go right to the point.
Very reliant on the cooldowns. Amazing goes in, trying to connect on that team up, and Techie on the backside finds Kurova already a little bit too far forward, but also trying to stay near velocities. So they're running out of steam, they're running out of momentum. And since they're a traditional, more 2-2-2 style composition, they're slowly falling apart. They don't have the healing to sustain Sentinels on that re-engage.
Yeah, if anything here, just look at Impunity coming back. He needs help. Impunity always in these tight situations. Velocity was also going to come back.
Can you explain Atlantic to me? Is that Atlanta?
Oh,
Atlanta. The LAN is happening in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a DreamHack. DreamHack has multiple gaming like events around the world. And usually at those gaming events, there's like tournaments and whatnot.
Sentinels to sort of sustain. Rai switching off, and everybody in fact switching off.
There's a lot of things.
They're back to their regular comp. Ryan, this guy taking shots from Avery. Probably has to fall back. Velocities.
Who are you supporting?
Wait, Venom?
I want a good game between these two teams, but I don't know, man.
It created a little bit of space.
I'd say DARKZERO.
They lose Amazing. Unfortunately, because they didn't copy a strategist, they just eventually collapse.
And that's what happens right there. You think you could try to go for a play like that, but imagine you would have had a strategist.
Ooh, nice kill, nice kill.
Opportunity to get into the full spawn room gates to get the healing. Oh no, now you're wasting even more time. DARKZERO down a minute and less than 45 seconds here.
Yeah, Nectar's looking phenomenal.
Jay, guess what? What's up?
The series, right? Despite the situation they find themselves in 1-1, DARKZERO now have to come back with their ultimate. Sentinels also, same situation. Rocket ult out first. Here comes the Supernova on the backside from Amazing to delete it, but he's taking so much damage. Eye in the sky, but it's shut down maybe, kinda. Kurova still fall, Velocity fall, the peel is there. So even though you get grabbed out of the air, the job is done by Sentinels on the defense.
You said that earlier. Appreciate it.
All around right now, there has to be
I think their mentals are boomed, bro.
It's gonna be the Hulk and Namor. Amazing makes us.
I think their mentals are boomed ever since that back cap.
And harass the back line here, even in the skies.
I think that threw off the team's juju, their momentum, their vibe. You know what I'm saying, chat? Ooh, nice hit.
I mean, they're looking shook right now. DARKZERO is having to switch up to this composition when the torch has been working on so well. Here comes. Well, Techie eventually goes down. Nice job with the regenerative domain. Save alive from that push of Techie, at least. But Avery eventually finds Madara, and Avery, the newcomer to the roster, has been also incredible. So this duelist lineup, and one of the duelists playing a strategist in Ultron, able to find huge picks now. DARKZERO trying to fight this, still Smash on the backside, trying to equalize it. But here, on the opposite side, Galactic Legend. Peel comes through with that invisible boundary, though. Same thing with those shields from the Invisible Woman. Jeff, in the meantime, will it find anything? Goes on the high ground, but Rai avoids it for now. They still have one shot.
Chat, it's GG's, bro. It's GG's, man.
The Jeff from flying off the map. However, Nectar's found
It's GG's.
Remember when you were asking, what do you do when it comes to that Jeff? You have to reserve an ultimate for it. That's the best way to.
I still don't think they're gonna win, bro. I still don't think they're gonna win. It was a big whale. Don't get me wrong, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
He's got to look around to see that the stall can really come out because overtime's ticking away. But it favors Sentinels here as Impunity is forced to pop the whole goal, to pop the reset here, and now looks behind him to stop the portal play.
I mean, these young guns of Sentinels are wiry. They have been all over DARKZERO, and because of that, here comes Crimzo in the sky. Smash is gone. Wait, Crimzo goes down to Kurova, though. On the backside, rocket ult here from Aramori. Doesn't give them anything. It doesn't look like it. They're losing Techie. On the high ground, here comes Ultron's Rage from Avery, trying to equalize it. He's done it before. Can he do it again? Kurova invisible. Using the double jump. We know that cooldown is out. No longer can go invisible. Also, Madara did use that diamond form. Smash coming back with the portal on the backside.
Techie has ult. Nectar has ult. DARKZERO has nothing. Except Amazing. Amazing has to pull off a god play to continue this. A god play. Oh!
If he wants to. Nice slowdown of Nectar, though. The faces from Impunity you slow it down? That Techie also gets killed for by Smash, and they're starting to do
There's
it.
no way.
DARKZERO, they're maybe going to close out here as they come
There's
back
no
on
way.
Angela, of all things, Crimzo does. But as we
Oh,
know,
that's an air ball.
Angela is one of the lowest HP vanguards in the game, so she can't stall that well. Besides,
There's
she's
no
really,
fucking way they actually capped that, bro. No
Sentinels
way,
get
bro.
stopped.
That should have been
DARKZERO moving to the second phase
GG's.
of the map.
All right, amazing
No
cleaning up the
fucking
cart
way,
of the janitor
man.
right now, just sweeping the floor real quick.
No,
with all the squids
no,
here, but can we
no,
talk about
no,
that
no,
stall was
no,
insane?
no,
I was
no.
worried too, because at some points we saw Aramori being on that rock.
That
had
should have been
BRB,
GG's,
Nectar
bro.
coming right back, but impunity with that stun was crazy. Now leading up to this fight, though, Velocity has that God of Mischief, something that Sentinels don't really have that sustainability. Although if Franco stays alive, could boost up that Fit of Both Worlds just as quick.
We'll have to keep our eye on that. Velocity so far this series has been phenomenal. Also the captain of the draft in terms of picking the heroes before the series. Got maybe the characters DARKZERO feels like our best, but
Do the
it
voice
seems like
comes?
the toughest champion to deal with today is the payload for DARKZERO.
No,
if they
I
get
can't.
stopped here. 1 minute and 41 seconds. Velocity goes aggressive with that invisible boundary and the copy of his very own Invisible Woman. And it's as you said, Vicky, maybe that got initius was too much because Crimzo goes down in the neutral. So does Nectar.
Good amount of space here about it, and this is going to build into that win condition.
Minute
where
and a
Mason's
half,
gonna be able to
chat.
set
Minute
up
and
with
a
these
half,
squares,
bro.
And Sentinels will be able to come right back around, though, with some ultimates to work off of the invisible boundary. Renko already having that Fate of Both Worlds. Avery as well with that alternate extermination. Crimson with the Sign of Seduction, but DARKZERO have so much star potential here going into this next fight, as his extermination is going to be the first thing to open things up, and Renko's going to try to keep them alive, as Avery is looking to get a lot more aggressive, but he gets saved here by that Luna Snow ultimate. Kurova matches it here with the invisible boundary, and nobody is looking at Ryan Amazing, as he is safe in that invisible boundary for now. Has to utilize the will to stop Techie from harassing his backline.
They have no supportals, though. They're gonna have to watch out for Nectar. Nectar's just gonna pop off and do all that damage for free.
Invisible boundary in the sky. Nectar trying to find something.
No way, chat.
Meanwhile, it's Impunity.
Nothing.
About first point. And second, Impunity also commits the ult onto the Emma, slams her down, and unfortunately they lose even more members as Smash
No
collapses, but
fucking
Impunity
way they're
has been
actually
an
bringing
absolute
this back,
game
bro.
changer. Techie trying to stall it out.
There is no
With a piece of
way
the
they're
biscuit, trying to
actually
get
bringing
another
this
gimmick
back.
Sort of back cap again.
Wait, the portal, chat. The portal, the portal.
Long enough. Techie goes down, sure, but the team is here. They can maybe back
You gotta
up
help the
again.
supports, bro.
There's
Gotta help the
maybe
supports.
push off
Oh
the
my
that
god, they
objective.
fucking
No, this time
capped,
it's Sentinels at
bro.
all.
This game should have been over like 3
Renko
minutes
held
ago.
forward right there, coming out of the portal, just trying to harass.
Yo,
that
this is
backline,
hype,
but
bro.
with
This is
that
hype.
card,
This is
DARKZERO
hype.
walking into that second
I'm about to
checkpoint now, and
scream
looking to
without the
create that
S. If you
space.
guys know, if you know, you know, you know,
30
bro.
seconds left to go, Vicky, and Sentinels have basically nothing too. So they switch over.
Wait,
to
are they
that Phoenix.
switching?
This is something we've seen other teams do. In fact,
Oh,
we've seen
they're
Envy do it.
switching. They're
And
getting
we'll
off
see
the
if it
Hulk
pans
the
out for
more.
them. Kurova falls so low, but lives with their life.
To the reclaim here on the payload
I don't-
too, as you can see Nectar making that swap up over to the Phoenix. Smash is gonna have to keep their eye on that with the extermination ready to go. Reclaiming the point is gonna be the first thing to start things off for this fight now, as Velocity also has that reset opportunity too.
Oh
when
shit,
Smash
chat.
is done
Oh
here.
shit,
Kurova
chat. Oh
with
shit,
the
chat. If they don't use any ulti, it's gonna be good. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sentinels almost has 5 ults.
With Moderick here, as Smash, they're holding forward. They're getting the follow-ups off of that side of the
Oh
seduction.
shit, chat. This is
Well, I love
scary
it. I love
though.
the
This is
counter
scary.
swapping
Look how
going
many
on
old
right now.
Sentinels has
Both
coming up.
sides. This is kind of the future of the game. You know, make them get used to certain play styles.
They have to go fast. They have to go fast. Try to force something out early.
Well, Supernova, Spawn Cam trying to come through. Nice freeze though from the side of Renko. Aramori, invisible boundary to stay on that objective. Also in the sky is Avery, trying to keep his Venom alive, who's trying to stall it out. Somebody has to anchor.
Oh
the
my
towards the
god,
end.
bro. There's no way.
We lose Techie in the sky.
There's no way.
So the Ensong Inferno does not connect with the ground. It gets eliminated in the sky, but we're at least committing the Luna Snow ultimate alongside Crimzo with that sonic deduction.
Uh-oh.
Nothing found just yet though.
Smash almost has his ult, chat. Smash almost has his ult, but Techie on Sentinels almost has his.
Dodge back and forth. Impunity trying to make sure that their presence is found.
Oh,
Here comes
Madara
the
almost has
perfect
another
timing.
ult.
But Techie, here with the face of the piece of the best on the cart. Does it find anything? No.
They're
Oh,
trading.
again, finding
They're
Kurova, finding
trading.
Velocity. Renko and Aramori
Wait,
fall
why
to
is
it.
Smash so
They
far in
immediately
there?
trade out. Smash needs to play for their life. Has switch sides of the map. Nectar again.
Wait,
Going
wait.
huge. Amazing falls. It's Scrappy. Is
Bro,
on.
everyone's
Crimzo
just
is down.
everyone's trading. I don't know who's winning.
Trying to stay
Wait, the
alive.
guy's 1 HP. If he gets the kill, he caps. Oh my god. They fucking won.
They win it out.
How did they win that, bro?
Give the crown
fuck?
Now.
There
The
is
way
no
that he not
way.
only crossed that backline, took care of the strategist.
There is no fucking way they won that. How the
What a series
fuck?
between these two teams. You know,
I
we thought,
had
Vicky, that,
zero
it
faith.
was going to be a good one.
I had
Didn't know
zero
how good
faith.
It was going to be.
Zero.
And you know what?
Ever
If
since
any
that back
was a
cap,
sign, it was a
I thought
banger
their
over
mental
there.
was
We saw an
gone,
incredible
Chad. I
matchup
thought their
between, I
mental
believe
was
it Nami
gone.
And Chomps.
Right, amazing. 43 and 9, 20 final hits, bro. Holy shit.
Going over to this, Vicky.
What
Point
a
is, we have some
fucking
fantastic
game.
games in the group stages right now between DARKZERO and Sentinels.
Dude, this is why we keep seeing Venom in jail as well.
Holy
this is and on this
shit,
map too,
bro.
by the way,
What
he's
the
so
fuck?
good. And Impunity just turned that fight around so hard. Smash was about
Impunity was the only one on cart, and the other people were both 1 HP and all. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Blasting in your face at the
Oh my
hands of
god.
Nectar. This was an insane game to watch.
Yeah, Impunity 100%. You know, statistically,
I'm not gonna lie.
Statistics, you definitely goes to Rye.
I'm not gonna lie,
MVP
Chad.
wise,
We
but,
just experienced
I mean, yeah, the
together
impact can't be understated from Impunity.
one of the
That
best
was
games of
incredible.
Marvel
I mean, that
Rivals I've
turns
ever seen in my life.
Narratively, potentially, you know how there's other hero shooters.
That
where
was
C9
probably
is a
one of the
thing,
best
you know,
Marvel
touch the
Rivals
car.
games I've ever seen in my
In
life.
this game, it very well could have been a DZ in the future. You know, that's something you need to prevent. You don't want to be known for a
I feel
terrible
like
thing.
Sentinels
You know, we
probably
have
should have
Necros,
won
the
this
human
map,
candle.
but that is
On this side, we have
crazy.
Ryan sorry, that's mean. Sorry, Necros. But yeah, Rymazing on the with the Tridents has been beautiful. And then switching back to the torch yet again on that third phase.
That is crazy.
Oh, the sending out the sounding of the 7th trumpet with the Namor ultimate too, getting 2 KOs at some points, opening up a lot of space. Actually combating that of the Jeff ultimate from getting any impact once he swallowed up those strategists. 43 KOs for Rymazing, only going down 9 times there. You know they're upset after what happened for that second checkpoint, but they went forward and they were able to reset mentally too, going in for that attack.
Well, we will be entering the realm of the Sentinels once again, probably, Vicky, as well. No, it's going to happen. We're going to Domination again. That's the first map and the only map Sentinels won so far. And yeah, I mean, you pointed out earlier how Sentinels on these Convoy and Convergence maps, it seems to be a problem for them at the current moment.
Yeah, I'm wondering here if Domination's gonna do them that justice, considering that DARKZERO are currently now 2-3 on Domination here, whereas Sentinels having a 4-0 success rate. It's gonna be interesting.
Hey, another
'cause
cat's
I
here.
would
Come here,
expect this
baby.
to go to distance
Come
anyways
here,
here,
baby.
Dogman.
Come
I
here.
wouldn't have it any other
You want
way.
to come here
Oh,
anymore?
yeah, absolutely. This is a banger. If you are missing it, you are crazy because, you know, if you've been watching or paying attention at all to Rivals Esports, this is a matchup that not only has, you know, feuds in it, has revenge potentially on the table, on the docket, but we'll find out more as DARKZERO are on map point. We're going to enter map number 4 after this break.
God damn, chat. Hold up. We have 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes. I want to see something.
And on this map too, by the way, he is so...
Nothing found just yet, though. Everybody's stunned up.
Look at this fight. Look at this fight, chat. Look at this fight.
But we're at least committing the...
Look at this fight. Everyone was dying. Everyone was literally trading. They were going 1 for 1. This is the beginning of the fight.
So with that sonic deduction, nothing found just yet, though. Everybody stunned up on the backside of DARKZERO.
He gets frozen. I think he...
Invisible Woman trying to dodge back and forth. Impunity trying to make sure that their presence is felt. Here comes Go Race 2 on the flank. Perfect timing. But that
Okay, see, Nectar killed 1. Impunity got 1.
These are the best on the card.
Nectar got 1. Smash got 1. 4v4.
Finding velocity. Renko and Aramori fall. Both duelists immediately traded out Smash.
Impunity got 1, but Nectar got 1. 3v3.
Going huge. Rymazing falls.
Crimzo got 1.
Crimzo whips out the fist.
Nectar is about to die. Look. These are the only 2 people on point. Nectar is 1. Crimzo is 1. I'm pretty sure these 2 people just spawned.
Dara and Nectar trying to stay alive in melee mode. Does something.
Oh, the Invis woman was right in front of them at 1.50 meters. The Jeff is right there.
1v1.
Oh, but Karova! He got through the portal! He got through the portal, got back, pushed the Invis woman off, forced the C9. Oh my. You didn't see that? No! I'm 30 years old. My eyes are gone, bro. Shit, sorry, my bad.
Pushes off, the Jeff is here, but DARKZERO! They win it out. It's 2-1 now, DARKZERO.
Give the crown impunity right now. Give it.
That's crazy. That is crazy, bro. That is crazy. I take offense to that. I turned 30 and have eyes like a hawk. Hey. Not for me. I'm old. Listen, I'm the Unk. I'm the Unk of Marvel Rivals. When you say Unk of Marvel Rivals, everyone knows who you're talking about. Whoo! Okay, chat, we're on the next map. We're on the next map. Hey, baby. Oh, look. Can you guys see him?
Welcome back, everybody. We have the series between
He's the
DARKZERO
Void.
and Sentinels going on in
It's
this
the
lower bracket
Void.
finals of the group stage in
It's the
stage 2
Void.
of the Ignite series.
It's a little Void.
Vicky, that was an
He's watching the
incredibly
games
back
with
and
us.
forth game, and luckily for DARKZERO, we're not going to
Yo,
remember
it's
it for maybe a reason that they would definitely
It's
not
Saku? Is that
watch.
your name? I appreciate the massive Prime sub. Welcome, welcome.
We'll have some replays to show you guys later on after we had just rewatched that ourselves.
I can hear
but
my husband in the
they
other
take
room
it-
when
they take
his
it
friends
despite
are
what
trash
had gone
talking. Wait,
down
what?
there. They came through. Impunity came through. Right?
Oh,
Amazing with the
hearing.
swap-ups too,
Hearing.
whether it be the
I was about to say.
Namor or
I was
the
like, what,
Torch
what?
composition that rode out there, and they take Spider Islands, leaving them in
I would
the
say
lead
my
2-1
hearing's pretty good,
currently
too.
versus Sentinels.
My hearing's-
But now we move on to
You definitely
domination, as you have
in
it,
video
Don,
games
that's
as well.
where
You want to
Game
like
4
listen
is
to
always
what's
gonna
going
reset
on.
us to,
That's why I
as we
never
reset
listen
to the
to.
game
That's why I
modes
never
now.
listen to
And
what do you
if
call it,
look at
music
the
while I'm
stats
gaming.
Here, Sentinels have a heavy advantage.
Yeah, we
on
have
domination
3
matchup versus
cats.
DARKZERO, where they're down
We have
2-3,
Boba,
whereas Sentinels are up 4-0.
Who's my baby?
Yeah, that's a great
He's
point.
6
I'm
months. We
curious to see if
rescued him
DARKZERO
when he
can
was 2
rebound,
months
right?
old.
That's kind of been the take of the series. Both of these
We
teams
have
are needing to improve, right? Or have
Noodle
already
that you just
improved
saw. That
going
was the
into this, right? They
Bengal,
both
and now we have
you know,
Sushi. Sushi
glaring
is
weaknesses in this case for DARKZERO. They kind of
the cat you guys
sometimes
never
struggle
see
going
because
for
she's
those
always
full
like
dive domination, like you
she's kind of
said.
scared.
You know, kind of getting that sort of team synergy on pace and then for Sentinels dealing with Torch has been a big problem. Let's take back a look at the highlights of that map, Vicky, and you know, some might call this lowlights at points, but for DARKZERO, they capped out the map in close fashion with Impunity, and Sentinels, they're now on map point, or at least DARKZERO on map point.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. And don't let this fool you, right? It is best of 5 here, but it's
No,
little
Sushi's
clips
like
here that you
6,
could
5
probably
5
put
years,
on
6
your
years old.
fridges and enjoy it yourself if you could do that with clips. But if you get to look back on it and see what happened on the point, you and I were here left wondering, like, usually it makes a noise too when it does flip, and I'm wondering, like, did I miss out on the noise here? I just heard a little bit of meterage where it starts ticking away. Look at that. No! No!
Damn, that was the back cat. That was the back cat, bro.
Oh,
Look at
he
it.
was like, I want in. I want the
I'm
KOs.
glad
I
they
want the
show you
KOs
this.
so
I'm
bad. I see
so
everyone
glad
having
they show
fucking
you this
faith.
replay. Look at everyone, bro. Look at everyone.
Not
No one
in
isn't
4K.
even
That's not in 4K.
remotely close to the point.
Literally look at the observers going back at it. He's like, hello? Anybody in the car? Hello? Even our observers recognize it. Guys, bad news. Bad freaking news. Kuroma tried last second, too. Kuroma's like, guys, the car. Oh, no. Oh, my God. The comms must have been so chaotic.
Yeah,
I would do anything
Sentinels-
for that VOD. To listen.
Well,
how they
I mean,
reacted,
Sentinels
you know,
can't.
that would be beautiful.
Sentinels can't
But
even
you know
get
what? I don't-
tilted,
I
bro.
don't fully- as we were
Because
covering
they
what was
literally
going
got a
on.
free back cap.
I
If
wonder, maybe people missed the cart
if
because,
DARKZERO
you know, he used to be
lost,
a,
they should have been the
MOBA
ones tilted.
professional, if you didn't know. And, you know, maybe he's used to the top-down perspective, right? He's used to
You know-
having all the information given to him.
God
So,
damn it,
you
man.
know, being in
You
the third
fucking
person,
backcapped.
sort of like cone view, right? You know, I mean, there's no excuse. You got to touch the payload.
He's ready for Daredevil.
He's
ready.
ready
God
for
fucking damn it, bro.
He's ready.
Honestly, though, I feel like this is all something to take away from. Like, despite that happening, like the fact that DARKZERO, like, just honestly, they would destroy me in any case or day. But it's the fact that DARKZERO was able to just reflect and reset.
Okay, chat. Next game,
is
Hell's
another level of professional
Heaven.
player that you
See
have
this.
to focus on, because again, at the end of the day, they can still win this. It doesn't matter. They go next. They did end up winning. And now we go on to game number 4, back on domination,
Wait.
where we actually did see DARKZERO go back and forth against Sentinels a few times here, where Sentinels looked a lot stronger. in
Okay,
that
yeah.
second round here.
The
But
last
it's gonna be
time
this time
the
around.
map
It's not gonna be
won
the
when we last time played
Kirkland
Koth, it was a really fucking good
today.
game. Like both games went 99. All of them 3 matches went 99-99.
Series, no ban store at this time. Everybody focusing on the Mantis.
Would you ever
Other
recommend a
series
gaming
would be
laptop?
DVA,
Oh
but
no,
not this
I would
one.
never. No.
Yeah, C9s or I guess, well, it would have been a DZ if they lost the map, but fortunately they didn't. Usually you don't have a name for something until it happens multiple times, right? Like it's not fair. Even though that was the craziest one I think we've seen in pro play and ever.
I think so too.
But regardless, they won, right? So if you win, it doesn't. It kind of. And I think it'd be
It's
unfair.
like PEMDAS, it cancels out. It cancels out.
Exactly. You remember the last shot, the one that wins it, not the pretty brutal moments. Although, I made a couple $1,000s off of a C9 at one point, which is great.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, weird
Big fan of
flex,
them.
bro.
The shock when I had my boy Erster push them off the car. It was good times. Made another 20K or
History
something.
lessons.
Yeah.
And we get to see the ban phase now coming forward for this potential last game. If we
Weird
see
flex,
DARKZERO
man.
ending up, oh yeah, they
Hold up.
did. They finally banned out the torch.
Oh, give me 2 seconds.
I
2
mean,
seconds.
it took a while, honestly.
Oh,
We
they
were talking
finally
about this
banned
before, 'cause
out
they
the
didn't even
Human
ban the
Torch.
against 100 Thieves,
Finally,
despite Terror
Sentinels
winning all
start-
3 games
no.
in the best of 3. But
Finally.
now they ban out the torch and they ban out the Jeff here too. So they focus majority once again on the strategist. But the torch being that last ban, while the saves still look the same for both sides between Invisiwoman and Ultron.
Yeah, let's see if that's enough, right? That's the biggest point we mentioned and that you mentioned. I mean, Sentinels have a new coach, right? They've picked up McGravy. They picked up Avery as a leader of the team alongside Renko, a very experienced player.
You think
so it's
a
not just Crimson
team?
making these decisions anymore in
You
the ban
think-
phase. And, it could very well be like a two
How do I
cooks
explain?
in the kitchen
You
situation,
think
right? They
that
could, like,
a
maybe
player
have
that was
too
on the
many
previous
brains
team,
trying to make
and you
plays,
know
trying to
his
say
hero
what's good,
pool,
right?
you guys literally
Then
played
you
on the
kind
same
of
team.
end
You
up
know what he's good
stagnant,
at.
right?
You
Like, I feel like a
you
lot
would
of the
ban
top
that
teams
Human
we've seen
Torch.
across regions.
Jay, why aren't you
deviate
playing
their
this?
bans. They have
Because
banned
I got
bans.
banned from
Both
pro
these
play.
teams are just
They said I was too
maintaining the
good,
same
and I would
side
make the tournament really unfair because I'd be
it
winning
shows
all
the
the games.
comfort that they're trying to lean into, just in case the majority of other main strategists are banned out, right? In case it's the Luna, in this case, you want to lean into the Invisiwoman. And what's crazy is that usually when you see that Invisiwoman save first, that's why you saw Sentinels ban out the Torch, right? Because
Yeah,
something we
Jeremiah,
have in
they're
Spider
still
Islands
getting
is
paid,
the
yes.
Invisiwoman and Torch team up.
They're
Get
still
that
getting
extra
paid.
shield,
The
which
top,
really
I
comes
think
in clutch.
16 teams actually get
The
paid.
ban onto the Torch on the other side, though, now Sentinels can't rock that either. They haven't really been able to as well. So no team up with the Invisiwoman for either side here.
I think the top 16 teams get
That's
paid.
going to be a big
Yeah.
play for sure as Sentinels portal. They're going to go for a kidnap play again. Looks like everybody's mobile characters. Did they try to change it up? Madara does. They just go over the top side and drop down.
Okay, chat,
Oh,
let's
that
see
looks
this.
funny here.
Can
Before he drops right on top of
DARKZERO
their head to try to
win
take the fight
this
to them to wrap around here.
and put the
Crimson
game in the
does get
bag?
stunned.
Or
Impeding
can
being
Sentinels
back on the
bring
wall
us
with
to a
that
match
Avery
5?
trying
Chat,
to
if we get to a
utilize
match
those
5,
right
if
into
Sentinels
position
wins this and we go to a match 5,
with that portal originally and Nectar taking a good
Cinema.
chunk of that damage.
Yeah, you just see
Cinema.
some pot shots from Smash there. But Nectar farming up that ultimate quickly, has the pocket as well as the BRB if he does go down, so they can play aggressive. And Techie's doing so, but wait, maybe he's out of range of that BRB too, because you have to be within a certain range. Yeah, Techie's not going to get brought back. However, Crimzo will be, and that means that they're missing their Vanguard, one of their Vanguards, the Venom in this fight.
Trying to disrupt the piece and try to split more of that attention. So this is going to allow DARKZERO just to walk in and retake this point first. As now Sentinels regroup together, they will have Avery with that extermination. It's going to be the first thing to be opening up this fight. Smash is going to try to match up, but Kurova going down is so important with the invisible boundary not available here. And now Renko having the ability to utilize the Jeff. The whale comes out right on time. Talk about by a pixel.
Again, Rye again, Nectar in
Sorry,
the sky.
shit, what did I miss,
Is it
chat?
gonna be
Fuck, did I
enough
miss a
for
good
Crimzo on the
ult?
inside? It looks like it is, so as good of a play as that was from Rye.
I was looking at my
And maybe
emails.
the
I got copyright striked because the Luna Snow song. Again.
Maybe they could have tried to clutch it up, but regardless,
Sorry.
this is an incredible series as the stagger of the Bruce comes through. Rest in peace. He's put in jail today, not ban jail this time though. And you see incredible focus from
Yeah, YouTube, come on, guys.
And there's a reason why. There's a reason why we've
Yeah,
been
the
seeing
break
these
song. The break
Jets
song.
banned
I
out.
got copyright strike by Disney.
DARKZERO couldn't
Since
play
Disney, you
last
know.
game. It was available for
Yeah,
Sentinels
that's fine.
in the previous game before that, but it's the focus on these Jeffs here, as now Sentinels getting to position with Techie having the reset opportunity. Crimzo having that Sonic Seduction too, but Kurova's got the survivability as the choke slam comes out to shut down Techie. There is no way he can pop that piece of the abyss as he gets finished off by Smash and the invisible boundary.
Yeah, the full YouTube stream gets demonetized, but it's pretty cool. YouTube has a feature that you could click and basically it mutes the whole part where the song was in. But it takes like a few days, so you lose like, you know, you lose like 5 days of revenue, which are, and it's the most important ones because it's like fresh. Unfortunate.
For something maybe even better, but now the Venom with the piece of the best trying to stall it out, gets the drone. Right, the healing is there from his team, but the point flip for DARKZERO regardless, and they slowly walked back.
No, they still play it, Shadow.
Even to reclaim the point, getting extra progress now too. Look at the economy that they're working off of, right? 5 ultimates are lying here for favor for them, but I'm looking at Renko right now with that Jeff ultimate that's slowly coming online. He probably wants to wait for Kurova to have that invisible boundary to have everybody grouped up together, but it's gonna be an
It's fine, Chad. It's fine. It's fine.
And the dance off of the fate of both worlds from Velocity, right? Amazing can get into position to just utilize that will to use it against Renko specifically as he's caught Aramori.
Shannon, appreciate massive 53 months.
That's a big ult out of the fight. What's going to counter these Jeffs, right? Or at least in the side of Renko. It's that whale yet again. We've seen whale greater than shark time and time again.
I love ulting sharks when I'm Namor. When a shark eats my team and I Namor ult perfectly, it's such a great feeling. Killing that fucking shark makes me happy. Wait, Nectar?
So they trade Vanguards. Sentinels actually take the point with that, though. They're using the rocket ult, using See You Later alongside that Guardian. I mean, that's enough for them to take the point.
Okay, let's see this.
It's fine though. DARKZERO gets to peel away here, trying to protect the Stratus backline while still punishing Techie at the same time. While Crimzo getting stunned here with impunity jumping right back at the hands of the team. DARKZERO and Amazing still holding on to that whale to look at when Renko decides to use it. And with the invisible boundary coming up, this may be the green light as Avery utilizes that extermination. Renko goes down, won't even have the opportunity to press the button. So now Amazing gets to save the whale. Renko gets taken out.
Sentinels is in trouble, chat. Sentinels is in trouble.
On the point to stall it out, but Portal's here, like you mentioned, in the sky. Everybody's healthy, but Rai holding on to that whale. Eventually, I mean, he's been saving it the whole time. The Jeff on the high ground, understanding the whale's going to be used for him. Techie gets taken out by Smash and Rez, though, so Renko finally learned not dying to that whale this time, but Avery goes down to Velocity. And I think that means he's not going to be in time for that portal.
They have to stay on.
The Game of Squid takes down Nectar 2 on the backside. I mean, Raya's doing so much this map. Madara on to Techie. Sure, you got rid of Torch, but
oh,
I mean, right now,
wait. Did they push Crimzo off?
And Hulk.
They're trying to turn that score around for this type of game mode, right? On domination, they're tired of it. They want to try to even things
game's
out.
not over, yo. The game's not over. You know why? Because the very first game, DARKZERO won the first Koth map, and then Sentinels won the next two. So, technically speaking, this is going exactly how the script says.
And then punish Techie whenever he thinks he has an opportunity to dive in.
Phenomenal work out of DARKZERO. We'll see if they can close out on Sentinels in round number 2. We're headed to the Eldritch Monument.
Also, yeah, look at that.
With that, also ultimates on their table, on their board. I mean, last time we saw this, it was a complete disengagement.
Come on, Walt Disney.
On this map, Vicky,
Rivals
like
till the end?
way more
Come on,
space
Walt
to,
Disney, bro.
play slow and take cover.
Come on.
Open, I would say, for this ultimate combination of Sentinels, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I was gonna say, I'm happy that Techie is swapping, although, yeah, you do have a lot more space. You have the pillars too, right? So you can try to mix up your landing, try to get some dive resets too.
Yeah.
But the same thing could be said for like the Ultrons that can utilize these pillars just to be able to get out of line of sight of the opposite team. And this could also benefit Nectar, right? Amazing could set up with these squids here over to the side, split more attention as Crimzo's trying to take the lead. And Aramori,
Can you imagine that? Chat, tomorrow I won't be streaming. You know why? The police are going to be at my house. The Walt Disney police. Hello, come in.
Brings them back.
You're getting arrested.
At least that rocket gets deleted into the sky, though. Nectar's going. But it's into a strat ult. Meanwhile, on the backside, Beauty slams down Crimzo.
Your YouTube channel belongs to me. Get fucked.
No BRB to bring back Crimzo in this fight. And Rai again closes out, puts his stamp on things with the elimination of Renko.
It's the slow turnaround from Nectar to look at his team getting slammed onto the ground by Impunity being in that whole form and then having to just do nothing about it because he's got that legendary activated, wants to clear space. Even better look as DARKZERO, once again with Amazing being on this Namor, is a problem that is not getting focused.
I was going to say, I felt like Nectar, I think, throughout the series has felt maybe the Star-Lord stuff isn't really panning out for them.
No, Nectar has been popping off in the Star-Lord. The past, like this map in the last half of the last match, it's been struggling, though. The last, like, he's had, like, 3 ults that haven't done anything. Oh, Techie, the LeBron James!
Techie, nice pick on a velocity. He's removing a huge player in that Loki out of the fight.
Oh, I was looking for Kuro's positioning right there too. Amazing now looking at these swaps, still has a squid set up and still harassing Techie. He sends out the whale after the Magneto bubble was called.
Yeah, he's some, wow, okay.
The Invisible Woman ultimate. Amazing walks up, takes out another member, Avery, off the table, so he won't even get that Bucky reset here too. And Madara, the way that DARKZERO is cycling through his ultimates in the next fight, Velocity will have that God of Mischief, and Impunity still has a reset opportunity.
Nectar has been carrying. Wait. Amazing has been playing like they owe him money. Yeah, apparently he's been playing like Walt Disney. And the Sentinels are me. Apparently.
Avery finds the pick and keeps Sentinels alive in the series because if they were to lose it here and now, it could be over.
Ooh! Ooh, get it, Avery, get it! Get it, Avery, get it! Ooh! Ooh, get it, Avery, get it!
You know, is it too early to Vicky? We'll find out as
looking like me out there on the Bucky chat, right? Can I get a true?
These ultimates properly? I don't think so. This is a
please?
beautiful counter swap that we're seeing.
It'll make me feel good. Please, chat.
Just as easily here.
Please.
Being on Loki allows for the reset to come out from Avery even easier. Being on that Bucky.
You guys are assholes,
so
bro.
That's something they have to consider with Velocity, at least having that God of Mischief to start things off.
You guys just don't want me to be happy. I got copyright striked. I lost my YouTube channel. All my Twitch revenue goes to a mouse, and you guys can't even make me happy.
The copy from Velocity
fucked up, chat.
Eternal Bond. Also, they have Terra Cape. You use Amazing's invulnerability, but also nobody's.
Wait.
So they have to give up the point. You don't have straddle.
That's so bad for Sentinels. What are they? Oh, chat, GG's. GG's. DARKZERO actually fucking won.
Are losing everybody. DARKZERO.
They 3-1 Sentinels.
Versus their nemesis, as they took down Nemesis before, they take down Sentinels now. DARKZERO and
oh my god. What a series, bro. What a series. I don't.
In a 3-1 fashion versus Sentinels. That last fight, they knew when they walked in, they had the impact. They
what a series, bro. Hey, you know what that means?
That was literally the
something that's more important than this actual match. When I twerk for a team, they are undefeated. I am not even trolling. I wish I was joking. I am 7 for 7. If I twerk for a team, they win. 4 times for Sentinels last stage, 3 times for DARKZERO. Oh my god.
In DARKZERO, a brand new matchup, which is always awesome, right? I mean, over on the opposite side, we have FlyQuest and Envy again. That's a rematch, and that's exciting. But also, a new challenger approaches the 100 Thieves team that is stuck together for millennia.
Yeah,
wait, oh my god, I just remembered.
Very interested to see because
$4.2 million on Sentinels, 2.7 on DARKZERO, 39% of, oh my god, the biggest gamble of history.
That best of 5 situation going out.
And I wonder, you know, looking back at the board, I mean, I imagine it's obviously tough. Right,
who could pay? Hey, all I'm gonna say, I'll gift.
At least Sentinels gets to go back, right?
If someone on Sentinels gives me 100 subs, I'll give you all the channel points right now. Hey, I'm rigging this shit.
They get the 3rd seed.
Can I hear some gifted subs? No, okay, no, DARKZERO takes it.
Oh my god, FlyQuest. So, you know, gonna be kind of a tough matchup probably for them, regardless of the result of that grand final tomorrow, but. Damn, what a series
Velocity.
That was, Vicky. It was a pleasure to watch it with you because, I mean, I am sure all our viewers in the same boat. That was a super fun one between these two teams and Velocities. Like you mentioned, he's our MVP.
Gonna see who Sentinels will be facing off against once we get that seeding figured out here. Velocity coming away with 16
What's up, Psylocke?
KOs. We talk about having that Loki and how dangerous it could be against a Bucky, but that was a last-minute swap from the Bucky from that second to last fight, rather that previous round. But then
He doesn't
looking at
get
the way he
on
was
my
able to get
chest
the Eternal
anymore.
Bond, start off that
I think
final
it's 'cause he's a
fight.
teenager,
Velocity
nice.
made those swap-ups here, and he
Too
was
edgy.
looking great too, right? He had like over 6 final hits there on the Loki, still putting in the majority of the healing too with that.
Wait, Chad, does
19K
that mean
healing.
Dark
And
Zero
that's what
against
he was
100
talking about,
Thieves?
like his positioning over on Spider Islands, maybe reworking that with the way that he was able to
Ooh,
position
this was
to
such a
help out
great
that
match.
backline.
Yeah, there was so much done by him. He's definitely one of the best players in the game, strategist-wise. And
What pizza?
I think that's going to be something we see moving forward. We talked about it at the very beginning. It's the Jeff play. It's the strategist play. I mean, across the board, it does feel like the strats
I didn't
are
even
kind of
say anything.
dictating the game at the current moment. Some of these top-tier players can really change things. And that was kind of, at least my biggest
Doesn't
takeaway
matter.
from
What do you
when I
want?
watched the games last night.
Doesn't matter to me.
And in preparation for today, it was like, yeah, I mean, all of these really good strategist players, Vicky, seem to kind of keep their team alive and then force the other team to play differently, right? Like, it feels like Dreamland was in that boat. Rad today had a really hard backline to go against. So I don't know about you. It feels like the back lines, the strategist players have been a mainstay and been the focal point of this Ignite series.
I agree. You have to talk about survivability, and Kurova did just that too at the very end, between the mix of the Invisible Man, even the Cloak and Dagger at the very end, which we saw Velocity copy off of, and it's
That's such a great series, Chad. That is crazy, bro.
Really looking up to form there, whereas
What a game! Listen, Sentinels might have lost 3-1, but that was such a great series, bro.
Yeah, you can see the cracks.
That could have went either way, bro. That could have went either way.
And 100 Thieves, meanwhile, are going to be in that grand finals for their group against DARKZERO to fight for that first place spot. And we talked about how if we think, you know, Group A, for example, is a group of death, or if you think Group B is a group of death, if you were on that camp too, I mean, you have to win this grand finals, right? You have to make sure you stamp your victory, because otherwise, you know, you're going to have a tough opponent, especially if, you know, Dreamland's good, if Rad's actually really good, or from the opposite side, I mean, you're against Nemesis. There's no easy teams left in North America.
Dude, these two series that we're gonna have with 100 Thieves versus DARKZERO and FlyQuest versus Envy, this is like peak cinema. We are literally getting peak Marvel Rivals Ignite action. This is gonna be such a banger. I cannot wait to see how this goes
tomorrow's
off against each
games,
other.
you have to show up. Tomorrow, if you want to watch NA, it's going to be 7 p.m. again. We're going to watch the top 4 NA teams.
Of Jay3, of Necros, of all those guys, of Space, I believe, is watching. We got a lot of awesome gamers. Sorry if I didn't shout you out, but all of our co-streamers are awesome.
I got name dropped. Hey, thank you, Dogman. W. Chat, W, Dogman.
So,
yeah,
Vicky,
7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST. And also, we're going to be watching the...
I mean, it's going to be a banger regardless.
We're going to be watching...
grand finals back-to-back, and then that sets up next week, which is our playoffs.
We're going to be watching the EMEA tomorrow as well.
I want to talk to somebody here from DARKZERO, man. I want to pick their brains and see how they're feeling about now looking at
Drizzle,
that matchup that we have waiting for us
Velocity,
tomorrow. Especially
yo!
since 100 Thieves look mortal, right? Yes, they've been.
Wait, you got
winning
MVP
series,
last game.
But there's cracks too over there, and kind of talking to Tara yesterday alone. Tara, by the way, so like monotonous.
I'm too smart, by the way. No. You're welcome. I am 7 for 7. When I twerk for a team, they win.
And even giving
7 for 7.
Both teams being as strong as they are, he thought it was going to go the distance. We did too. Although it did end in that 3-1 fashion, it's looking like the high-level talent in the Americas region.
They have no ults. Go Cloak. I copy. Go
after the roster swaps.
I wish I could listen to the comms, bro. I wish I could listen to the comms.
I mean, I think that, you know, over here, it does seem like there's not as much of that, like, wholesome, everybody praising each other type thing. But EMEA, it feels like after every team that gets eliminated,
you guys have to watch your second match from my...
They didn't go to Atlanta.
I don't know if you guys, like, watch all this year. Bro.
And listen, I agree,
oh my God.
You know, it's funny because over here, everybody
Holy
just hates each
shit.
other.
Thank you for your majestic ass. Wait, what? What did you just say, Jack?
Yeah, screw those guys. They suck. They're actually complete cheeks, and they are the worst.
Wait,
team
I
of
just
all
heard
time,
Dogman say cheeks. Wait,
and definitely good. It's just more so. I mean, not everybody's praising each other, Vicky, over here is what I'm trying to say. Everybody has egos, and, you know, it's awesome. I think it makes for exciting
That was
matches
such
like
a
we
great
just saw
series,
between
bro. Both teams. That was such a great series. That was probably my favorite out of all the matches I've watched the past 3 weeks.
From this team of DARKZERO transitioning over to the dark side with that jersey.
Oh, chat. Okay, let's listen.
Rather, in this case. What's up, Rye? How's it going?
Rye
Congrats on
amazing
your
popped
W.
off.
How you feeling, bro?
Hey, I feel good. I mean, it was a hell of a game. It was a good series. Yeah, I'm just happy that I feel like I made the right decision, I guess, by leaving.
Oh!
So, bit of a grudge match, I guess.
Drama! Drama!
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with me too, because we've known each other for a while. So you know, you gotta keep it PR, hopefully. In your case, you know, like you said, it was a bit of a grudge match, but also with this new team, you guys are looking good and looking like a lot more.
That sent
formed,
chills
I guess.
down
Like,
my
I don't know.
spine.
Over this past week, it seemed like you guys are still trying to
Can I get
gel.
some chills?
Is that kind of true, or are you guys sort of still figuring each other out and stuff like that, even in the draft phase, maybe?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think we had like some flukes against Nemesis, and I think we're still kind of like learning. And I think this team needs still a little more time in officials. It's getting a little chaotic in the comms for sure, but no, we're definitely a strong team, I think. And we
Wait,
just with a
I
little
need
bit
to
more
know.
time,
I need
think
to know
we'll be
what were the
really, really
comms like
strong.
when you guys C9'd? I thought you guys were
Do
gonna
you guys
lose.
think you're gonna have enough time to figure that out against 100 Thieves for tomorrow here? Considering like, we talked to Tara yesterday, and they were looking forward to the series too, to see how this was gonna play out here. But 100 Thieves kind of being one of those teams where although they've been winning, they've still been dropping games. Do you guys feel like you're gonna be in full form for that series?
I think we can definitely beat them. I don't remember the last time I lost 100 Thieves, to be honest. I think it's been like,
Oh,
at least,
where's
7
TTK's
series or
dad
something.
at?
But you know, it's a new
Yo,
team.
TTK's dad, you just gonna
we
take
have some
that?
stuff to work out still. And
Yo,
I
there's
think it'll be a good
drama.
match.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, TTK's dad's still in my
taking a look
chat?
at it is interesting that you guys haven't had to play against them, because like you said, you had to go against Nemesis again. And I think that's the like I don't know, like last week it was definitely like apparent that you guys were still kind of gelling. This week you look very good. What kind of changed, I guess, in your guys' like comm structure or maybe just comps? Like why do you guys look a lot better this week rather than last week? 'Cause
Amazing is
3-1
supposed to be
Sentinels
such a
is
nice
actually
kid,
pretty
bro.
damn
What
good, solid
happened?
win.
What did you guys do to my
I think we
boy?
figured out a lot with the draft. I think like our first match against Nemesis, we just kind of let them have Mantis both games. I think that was like a big flaw. But I think we also just kind of needed a little bit more time in these official matches. I think we're kind of all nervous that first match, and but we've kind of worked out the antics. I think we're looking good now.
Yeah, fair.
Now, I like your mentality here. I have to ask too, how were the vibes when you guys were going to play off against Sentinels and Korova kept getting those Jeff eats? I just need to know. Like, was
Korova, you
the
popped off
giggling
on
kicking
Jeff,
his
bro.
feet at the
Yo,
same
Fate,
time?
you taking notes? I know Fate. I know
think
Fate's
we're all
still
pretty
here.
Excited. Obviously, it's it's a fun match. I mean, Sentinels, they played their best and it wasn't good enough. And
I love stirring the
honestly,
pot.
though,
I'm sorry.
In all seriousness, no hate to them. Still my friends, love them all.
No, you guys are good. I love
good team,
talking
but I think
shit.
we
I'm just
showed
the
up
guy
again
on the
and,
sidelines talking shit.
matched
I
them,
love
showed
it.
up and beat them, and I think we'll do it again tomorrow against 100 Thieves.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I'm sure a lot of your fans of Sentinels and your fans too like to hear there's no bad blood there. And I guess two things. We'll let you close it out, obviously, but we'll to not leave it on a negative note. I want to mention this up first. What happened with that C9 that in the second phase of Spider Island?
Oh, they asked the same question I did.
Right? What the hell?
I don't know, man. I just heard screaming C9, the points moving. And I guess we just forgot. I was just a classic C9. We forgot the card.
Classic. Yeah.
Yeah,
At least you guys
I mean,
won, so we could forget about it, right?
Yeah. Well, we won anyway, so. Yeah.
Exactly, and
tragic.
that's what you guys got to post that calm. I want to hear.
I want to hear what was going on, bro. I want to know what was going on.
So maybe not. Rye, by the way, any last shout outs, any things you want to say before we let you go? Because it's our time for you to get some rest and also us to wrap up.
That's why I shout out Jay3. Every time we shout him out, we win. So I'm gonna keep the trend going. Yeah, shout out Jay3.
Oh God, he's gonna bust it down again. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you know what that means? Just bust it down.
Appreciate you stopping by, man.
Woo!
All right,
Bust
thanks,
it
guys.
down. Bust it down.
Well, Vicky, that was an incredible series that we just had, and that's only the start, right? We're about to finish it out, but what a game!
I can't do
I can't believe, like, I keep feeling like time is flying by, but like maybe for every J3 breakdown that we see throwing it back or something, like that's the games just fly by even faster. At
Hey!
least for DARKZERO, right? Maybe that's the power up that DARKZERO needed. You were talking about what was the difference between last week and this week. J3's dancing for them, man. So maybe
I'm not
the team up
dancing,
that
I'm
they
dropping
needed
ass.
instead, the IRL team up. But it's been an amazing set of games right now. I have to reiterate, I'm so excited for tomorrow's games. Those are gonna be
Hey,
some big
TTK, you're in my chat now. Let's have a conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
TTK, what are you gonna do against DARKZERO? Let's talk right now. They're here, you're here. What are you guys gonna do? I'm twerking for DARKZERO, and I'm not even trolling. I'm 7 for 7 right now. I twerked 4 times for Sentinels in their group stage. They won every single game. We twerked every game for DARKZERO. Hey, they won every single game. What are you going to do? I didn't twerk for you guys. What you doing? I don't care about your twerking. Well, that was just kind of rude. I didn't expect you to say that. That was just fucked up.